What's good, everybody? This is the Sunday Hangout where we sit back, we bag, we board, we chill out, we talk some comic books, right? So buckle up, stay tuned. Let's have some fun. It's Sunday Fun Day, right? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What is happening, everybody? It's pretty funny. We'll open up this Sunday Fun Day Hangout. I forgot JP Budget Collects is going live right now, so please open up that second window and continue to support him if you're here. I'm going to make sure I catch that on the replay this afternoon. Oh boy, right before dinner, because sorry, JP. I'm trying not to miss that show every Sunday because JP's putting out great content every weekend. But we're here to chill, hang out, talk comic books. Hey, Ian, how's it going, man? Ho. Wow. Yeah, that one actually kind of hurt. So funny, we're opening up this Sunday. Actually had someone post a comment earlier on the Instagram to the thumbnail that I posted for this, and he asked, "Are you giving some bags and boards away?" And I'm like, man, actually, I didn't think about that. I wish I could. Apparently, the situation with comic book bags and boards is still pretty dire out there from what I'm hearing from a lot of other people. And I buy my bags and boards about 500 at a pop, usually maybe 400 at a pop for my LCS when they're in. There are sometimes when I get down to like my last couple of packages and I go in there and they're out completely and I got to wait a solid month. So I do see that on occasion, but usually I grab 400 or 500 at a pop when they're very well stocked. So we're just going to sit here. We're going to bag and board some books and say hi to some people. Ian's here. Shadow R4T, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Mr. Watson, thank you for being here. Hey, Mom, see you at dinner tonight. Absolutely. Second coat in the bathroom today, but still listening. Poor Mike. I feel you, man. That's what I've been doing the last, couple of weeks. Painting the mini-me's bedroom, repainting that and repainting another room. And every time I get a part done, I'm like, yeah, no, I have to give in. I'm going to have to do that ceiling as well. And I hate doing ceilings, but that's where I've been kind of, if I'm not here or at work, I'm painting rooms in the house. And I tell you what, I still do it the old school method with rollers and brushes, and it is terrible, poor Mike. I hate it, man. I hope you have one of those airless sprayers. That's pretty dope. I've heard those things are killer. Either way, I actually had to bulk order my bags and boards from Canada. Holy crap. Seriously? Wow. One Shot Comics. What is good? Thanks for being here. I'm just going to keep saying hi to everybody as they roll in here while I just sit and bag and board some comic books. So for any of you guys that are here hanging out that want to join, we are dropping the link if you're interested in popping on. I know some people have commented that they were interested in the past. That's one of the reasons why I want to keep doing this, is just to kind of sit and hang out and talk to people. And at some point, bag and board books, right? Downright Nerdy Podcast. Hop on if you can, brother. Would love to talk to you for a little bit. Got some questions for you anyways. Because, yeah, it is Sunday Hangout. Sunday Fun Day, right? I don't know. What did you guys think about the last CGC unboxing or the last two? I am still absolutely astounded at the turnaround times. Try to get some of those books standing up a little bit better. I don't even know where to begin with a lot of this stuff. DC New Titans. Don't know anything about some of these DC reads out of the 90s. Paul Dunn, what is going on, man? Downright says he's in the middle of a fantasy draft right now. Give me a few. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Like I said, I think the last one I did, I sat here for 3 hours bagging and boarding. Might not go for that long today. Definitely going to a family dinner this weekend, this evening. So, but yeah, I got to get through all the rest of these books. This is the second full bin of books, and there seems to be about neighborhood of 300 to 400 comics per bin. And I'm definitely not keeping all of these. Shinobi Fufu, what is up? Cleaning up after the storm. Hopefully you're doing well and that storm didn't hit you too hard. Looking forward to bagging and boarding later. Absolutely. One of these days, this chair is going to have to hit the pavement and be gone. And I'm going to have to get a new chair here soon. I am Absolutely loved this chair for many, many, many years, but it's just about time. Ooh, hey, little Punisher book hidden in there. All right, Punisher 2099 number 16. Very cool. Yes, I killed your girlfriend. What can you do about it? I actually remember really loving that read. Howler Mouse. Marv Wolfman told me it was around the time he should have known he had been on Teen Titans too long. Oh, okay. Interesting. That was one of the other reasons why I bought this collection. There's a ton of books I have not read. I'll probably try to read through some of these, and they'll eventually go on Whatnot, Dollar Starts, or the Neighborhood Garage Sale, or go to some of the Neighborhood Kids. Yeah, Paul, this is the same collection that I picked up like months and months ago. This just happens to be bin number 2. There were 4 bins. This is only bin number 2. Bin number 1 we finally cleared after 4 Sunday hangouts. That's how long it took to do that. And there's about 300 to 400 comics per bin, so about 3 short boxes roughly. Yeah, it's quite a few. It's a lot of 80s and 90s Marvel DC stuff. I was actually surprised to see a Punisher book in here. Not in too bad a shape. Most of these are pretty like well read and put away, so you know, the very fine condition to good, somewhere in there, somewhere in that neighborhood. Just fun reads, you know. Man, hopefully everybody's Sunday is going well. Hopefully those of you down south that did get hit by the hurricane are getting some power back here soon, and things are coming back together for you. And then there's a massive storm up near New York. How many keys you think you'll find? Not many. I've already been through the collection looking for keys. Like, I've actually dug through all 3 or 4 bins and went through and pulled a handful of books. And like, there was a second appearance of Sabretooth, really beat up shape. There was the first colorless Vision that actually went up on the first Whatnot auction that I did, and I actually split the proceeds of that in half with the original collection owner, sent him extra money for that one. You know, it was a big chunk of books that we knew there weren't going to be any massive keys in there, but lo and behold, I've had this collection long enough now that some books have actually started heating up, and then I didn't even know there were keys. The Kang books I sold on the last Whatnot auction came out of here. I had no idea that the first Council of Kangs was in this collection, the Avengers 2 something that was in there, in another Kang book, and those got hot and those got heavy, so threw them in the Whatnot auction. Figure somebody else would appreciate them more than I would. Those started for $1. Name of the game is to get comic books in large quantities without having to go pay cover price at my LCS and have some really good reads. Try to put some runs together, figure some stuff out. Like, we're about to dip in to this whole chunk of books right here is a big chunk of the ROM run, the original ROM run, with lots of extras. So we're getting into that today. Seawater19, what's up? Luke's Comics, how's it going? The chat, or the link to join Luke, is in the chat, or Seawood if you guys want to hang out. You too, Paul, or Justin, No Good Comics. It's just kind of a free-for-all hangout. This is ROM number 63. And if I remember, I've been through apps, web pages, other stuff like that. There's really not a lot of keys in the ROM run. And it looks like somebody had been through this collection and pulled all the keys anyways, all of the easy to find, like easy cover picks and keys. Like, there's no ROM number 1, unfortunately. But that's okay. I do have a lot of those books already in my collection. So this was kind of like run filler stuff. And a lot of the doubles and triples and quadruples are actually going to be bagged, boarded, and set aside, and, you know, give it away or put up for $1 or something like that. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised at how many people are looking for a lot of these books at a very affordable price. Because most LCSs, this might not be a key, but in decent shape. This is like a $5 to $6 book at most LCSs. Yeah, that'll go on Whatnot for $1. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. So I'm sure somebody would love that. And hey, look at that. Like I said, definitely got doubles. Another ROM 63 here. But oddly enough, you know, I don't ever remember baggies being like this back in the day. But there it is. Get that one right out of there. This one is definitely well read. Oh my. And this one might, nope, it's not stuck. Yeah, just a good, well-read copy of ROM 63. Officially started checking out Whatnot today. My wallet is in trouble. Ooh, did you actually start buying today, dude? Rod, what is up, man? Justin Reekin in his comics. Thanks for being here. John's Comics with Kids. Yes. Let's just drop that in there again to see if anybody wants to stop by. hang out for a little bit. You guys are more than welcome to say no. You're more than welcome to say yes. Either way, this is just kind of a way to hang out with you guys in the community on this channel, like we did yesterday on No Good Comics for almost 2 hours. That was a blast. Be sure you guys are checking out No Good Comics and his Comic Collector Origins show that he does on Saturdays. That was a blast. That was a really good time. Paul Dunn says it moved six short boxes from downstairs out of paranoia. Ooh, oh yeah, because of the weather, because of everything. Yeah, that's why when I stash stuff in the dojo, it is definitely off the floor by a long shot. Didn't buy anything yet, but it's gonna happen, I'm sure. Yeah, so I need to actually get on Whatnot today or somewhere else, or if anybody in the community here is selling any CGC 9.8s of basically just looking for some cool stuff to do for giveaways on the next Whatnot auction. I've got the Slavaganza giveaway taken care of for the 18th. That's all set. I'm going to be creating that thumbnail tonight, sitting down and building that stream so that it's a week or 2 weeks out. It's already posted and on YouTube so that people can see it and hit the subscribe button or hit the notification bell. I'll be doing that later tonight. And that reminded me that I definitely want to get on Whatnot or some other avenue and look for, or if somebody in the community who, any of you guys that know me and I know you, and we want to do like a trade, like a friends and family kind of trade situation, a couple of 9.8s that I'd like to put together for the Whatnot auction. Like I saw the Gleason Amazing Spider-Man. What was that? Oh, good gravy almighty. Here we go. TikTok sensation across the nation. And I don't think I can get to it fast enough. I gotta turn that on. There you go. TikTok sensation.
There it is.
Oh my. What's good, man?
I'm not familiar with this whole YouTube thing. I'm really more of a TikTok guy.
Creepy. I still can't get over the Instagram post that got shared earlier. The Simpsons Midas touch.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, you have to have seen the movie Midsummer for that to make some sense. There's a horror movie called Midsummer, and they basically did variation on that. So I did my first 2 TikToks today, and now I'm hooked.
I should. I just feel like there's so many other things going on that to do that as well.
I get it. Justin's always trying to get me to do some new thing, some new social media, some new whatever. And this morning I tried out that TikTok, and that's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, I'm always scrolling through other people's TikToks, watching the Instagram reels and then on YouTube shorts. And then somehow when you're scrolling and clicking, eventually you end up winding up on TikTok watching the reels or shorts there anyways. I'm like, and it seems like people are sampling and sharing a lot of their content, and it's being reused and reposted and
which I like a lot. Yeah. And it reminds me of,
it can be a little frustrating when every reel is the same song over and over and over with a different person.
It totally can be. And my daughter's showing me how you can, if you like a song, you can click on the song and then just scroll through all the uses of it, all the people that have used it. Or you can add it to your favorites so that later on you could use it in a video.
That's not bad.
So the girls are like guiding me on like, oh, here's how you do transitions. So I try to transition one. But he tried to get me on Discord, and I had to. I'm hard passing Discord. That's not my thing.
I haven't had time for Discord at all. In fact, I haven't checked Discord in probably months.
Right.
But sometimes I still get some alerts. Please address John's comments from yesterday's show.
Which ones? Oh, all of my amazing
all the dad jokes.
Dad jokes. I can load them up again. There were some great ones.
Oh God, those were delightfully pleasant.
There you go.
Those were epic. Like, yeah, how do you deal with an upset astronaut?
You said this one yesterday. I better remember this. You give him some space.
Give him some space. Yeah.
See, I knew it. I listened.
Those are dad jokes are always fun. I think I like the TikTok idea for like random comic thoughts. Like if I'm reading something, I'm like, wait, the hell is like, why is that like that? And then just TikTok it.
Well, and I like social media for being an idiot. Like that's what I use my social. If you haven't noticed, I use my social media to be a jerk, to be a moron, to be a knucklehead.
No, I
So
never would have guessed.
Discord doesn't help me in this regard. But TikTok is clearly right up my alley.
Gotham City Comics right here. If you guys don't know Gotham City Comics, these fine gentlemen are who hooked me up with my Last of Us 9.8 slab. And I can't thank them enough for some stellar shipping and dealing with me, him and Han, trying to get the wife's approval to pick that up. Gotham City Comics, be sure to look them up, subscribe to them on YouTube, and find out where they're at. I'm not there's no sponsorship or anything. I just wanted to give them a big shout out for an awesome hookup on that Last of Us, because I'm still pining over that series.
Charlie brought you a dad joke if you're ready for it.
Ooh, bring it.
This is my step stool. I never met my real stool.
Nailed it.
What's the Dwayne?
There's so many avenues to that joke. And now that she can't hear me, there's so many avenues to that joke that cannot be discussed in your household.
Right.
They're absolutely hilarious.
She said there's one about The Rock where what is it? What do you say? What happens when you touch Dwayne the Rock Johnson's rear end?
You hit rock bottom.
You hit rock bottom.
That one's epic. I love that one.
And I was really impressed when I asked my dog what 2 minus 2 was, and he said nothing.
I used that one at work last week and almost got slapped.
There you go. We'll say my wife said I should do some lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. I like the ones that aren't questions, that are just like statements, right? So those, I tend to avoid the ones that are like set up punchline. It's just a statement. I like it.
I sometimes like the punchline ones because it catches people off guard, and I do the jokes at work just for the reactions, just for the groans, just for the get out of here, just for the don't ever come back, Andy, just for the Varangian Vigilante. What's up, man? There's so many people here today. Big O, good to see you. I think it's been almost 4 weeks since I've been able to do a Sunday hangout, or maybe I did one a couple weeks ago. I don't know. But I feel bad. I forgot JP goes live. Oh, and speak of the devil, there's JP right now.
He's here.
I scheduled this for 2:30 and forgot that JP usually goes on at 2 for his cash or trash. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss out on that. And I'm like, well, he usually goes for about 45 minutes. So I waited up all night for the sun. Then it dawned on me.
There you go. I got fired from the calendar factory just for taking a day off.
Oh man,
I got fired from my part-time job at the keyboard manufacturers because I wasn't entering enough shifts.
But I'm cheap.
I probably
would. How you doing, man?
I got you just in time. I have no dad joke stored up. I'm just warning you now.
John had so many stellar ones yesterday that he blew my socks off and took the crown.
But I do have a lot of stuff to bag and board, though.
Huh? I don't know what the best thing is about Switzerland, but the flag is a big plus.
That's a really good one, too.
Oh, man.
Cremation is my last hope for a burning hot body.
What?
Said cremation is my last chance for a burning hot body.
I can't even click on the screen. My wife gave me an ultimatum. It was either her or my addiction to sweets. The decision was a piece of cake. This is gonna get bad. YouTube's gonna ban me.
Just a pity ban.
Yeah. I just can't get over John's name. TikTok sensation. That's awesome. You're gonna make me want to get on there now.
My ceiling isn't the best, but it's up there.
Oh man.
Oh. That's a good. I have not heard that one. That's a good one.
Hey, Andy, are you writing that one down?
I'm gonna try to remember that one.
Yeah, you got to keep it like a word.
The ones that you can remember that are short and sweet like that are usually the best ones. How do you deal with a sad astronaut?
There it is. It's twice. We've done that one so good. It's come up twice.
Just give them some space. I love that one. We used that one yesterday and then brought that one up just a little bit ago. Bags and boards. I love bags and boards. So somebody was commenting earlier on Instagram that they were asking if I was going to give some away, and I wonder if I should consider doing that and just if I can find a ton and just throw it in a flat rate mailer, like a big box, and just do that as a giveaway too at some point, because I buy them in 400 or 500 shots. So I have bags and boards for like 3 or 4 months at a time. And that just dawned on me that if I'm buying 100 comic books a month, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a ton.
Yeah, I just started bulk ordering from E. Gerber. I recommend it.
I'd like to get my Punisher
prices still down, or have they raised prices at all?
I don't know. I have like 3 or 4 months. These are from months ago. It might be from like 6 months ago, but they were about the same as when I did it like in 2019. Rather, they're still at the same price. Either way, it's still cheaper than getting them off like Amazon or eBay for sure. You just got to order a bunch of them, which I think everyone here would burn through them no problem.
Probably.
I still pick up from my LCS, and the prices are still the same. Having
sex in an elevator is wrong on so many levels.
It can also be uplifting if done right.
Did get this in the mail. I've never read the first McFarlane Spider-Man run.
Really?
So I bought the omnibus.
That's a great Omni. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I think they just did a reprint of it, and I'm like, well, I'll take a black costume variant on that. They do variants on hardcovers now, even. Who knew? So, got this to read, and then I decided to switch to hardcovers on my White Knight reads. So I haven't read Harley Quinn yet, but obviously the rest of it's been good so far. And then I completely forgot this was still a thing, the Earth One stuff. So Jeff Johns writing Batman Earth One. I'll be reading this for sure.
Nice.
And then Boyard 7 sent me some books. I ordered some books off of his, like, what was it?
Yeah, he's been selling. Yeah.
Yeah. So he actually I think he threw this hardcover in.
Nice.
For 1602, and it was actually signed on the inside by Andy Kubert.
Ooh.
And then everything I bought from him is signed. So that's why I was like, I couldn't pass up the 1602. Every copy is signed by Andy Kubert.
Nice.
Which he is not a cheap signature anymore. And then got a whole bunch of non-signed by Joseph Michael Lindster. Handsome.
I put all my cash into an origami business, but it folded.
I taught my pet wolf how to meditate the other day, John. Now he's a werewolf. That was actually pretty bad. It sounded funnier in my head.
I suffer from kleptomania, but I take something for it.
I love it. God. Oh.
I'm afraid of negative numbers. I'll stop at nothing to avoid them.
Yeah. Oh. John, why are math books always so sad?
Because they're full of problems.
I wonder how many math teachers have heard that one over the years.
I quit my job at the donut factory. I was fed up with the whole business.
Oh. Uh-oh. Big thanks for recommending Saga. Finally read the first trade. Dude, Mitch, I can't wait to see. Mitch, if you're not on IG, message me some way. I want to see how this plays out when he reads it, and I'm not going to spoil anything, though.
Why did the monk refuse Novocaine when he had his tooth pulled? He wanted to transcend dental medication.
Wow, that one. I gotta chew on that one for a minute.
It's deep. That one's deep. I went to a new restaurant called Karma. There's no menu. You just get what you deserve.
Oh no. Oh. Oh man, I gotta think of a couple of First Department of Truth, also awesome. Yeah, Department of Truth was really good.
I got to get the second trade when that drops.
I still need to read that first trade. I've only read issue 1 of that, and it was really good.
It dawned on me too while Mitch was talking about Saga. I'm thinking Baltimore is gonna be the news update for Saga. I'm really wondering. There's a whole private group on Facebook dedicated to Saga fans that you can find and join. And a couple of people are keeping their fingers crossed and thinking that this seems very logical for them to drop that info at Baltimore.
I mean, but are they always predicting it? Like, oh, it was going to be at this, and then it's going to be there.
But there's usually lots of reservations. There's lots of fact checking, and we're like, hey, this doesn't line up with so-and-so's schedule, and this doesn't line up with Fiona's situation. And
gotcha.
That's the group where I actually learned quite a long while ago the reason why Saga was taking so long is that Fiona, they had a child, and she was staying at home for a while for that situation, and they weren't going to try to accelerate that. And
sure.
And so it seems to be a lot of the information I find and they share there is really logical or really pans out really well.
I know that one, JP. Yeah. I think I should have my spine removed. It's holding me back. Thanks for explaining the word many to me. It means a lot.
Speaking of shows on hiatus for the time being, Modern Men's got to do a comeback for something stellar here soon too.
Yeah, well, like, what are we gonna read, Andy? What are we gonna read? We always
I don't
end
know.
up with that
Drew
question.
Had a couple of good suggestions, but I don't remember what it was.
I guess we could ask like the chats on this side of the screen for me. Like, what do you guys want to see us read and review? Because I wouldn't mind doing some Modern Men. So, I mean, we can if something pops up we've already read, we can easily direct them to that episode. But I'm open for suggestions at this point. I mean, I got 3 hardcovers, but apparently Harley Quinn has low expectations, which I understand that. I wouldn't mind reading some Earth 1 stuff, but that might be a little bit too under the radar for some of the stuff we read on Modern Men. We could always read that Spider-Man run, some McFarlane Spider-Man. That's
actually not a bad idea. That'd be really
classic,
good.
Especially with the Venom movie.
Oh yeah,
eventually one day coming.
Yeah, one day.
Actually, one day.
Maybe it'll show up the day I get my 301 back. Actually, now I got a First Carnage out. I've got a 301 out and a 298. I may see those by the time that movie comes out. We'll see what happens first. My guess is 2022 is going to happen first.
Did you send those to CGC?
Yeah, like in April. No, I sent my Carnage in April to CGC, and then the other books went to CBCS in June, I think.
So then, Carson, the turnaround times, am I understanding it correctly when I say that 100 days or whatever starts from the day they receive it?
Well, I think by receive it, you mean actually open the package and
they mark it as received in their system.
Yeah,
right?
so if USPS says it's received, that apparently means nothing on there.
It doesn't.
So they have that loophole where they can say blah blah. It's this many.
Because my stuff arrived there July 1st. They opened it up September 1st, and now I'm like, okay, so now I have 100 days, right?
Yeah,
from September.
I think so. And it's been so random lately. The way my stuff, because
I mean, nothing fast. I'm not talking about the fast track guy here. He's the fast track man.
Well, there's more to talk about that when Seawood's done.
I was gonna say, like, it's been so random the way they open and grade your packages too. Like, some of the stuff I sent to CCS, I feel like it's just been in limbo for an eternity. When as my last package is already scheduled for grading somehow, the one I sent to them in June, whereas I still have April books with no foreseeable future that I'm going to get anytime this year. That's why I've kind of started playing with this thing back here. I bought a press.
Nice.
So I'm just like, well, if I can figure out how to press stuff on my own, that would certainly
Certainly for
Yeah,
modern books
upgrading
that don't need a
times.
bunch of
Oh, yeah.
cleaning and you just want to flatten them out. That's
And I have enough like 20-cent books I can certainly like play with and learn
Test it.
techniques that I like in my
sure.
And
books.
if you don't, you could always go out and get a whole giant stack of them on a weekend.
Oh yeah. Actually, let's see what we got one in here now. Let's see what we got.
A friend of mine told me he didn't understand cloning. I told him that makes two of us.
Oh man.
Oh,
I designed a
One, two,
reversible
three.
jacket. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
oh man. Well,
To the-
what do you
to the
call a
man who-
goat chicken, John?
a ghost chicken?
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you call them?
a poultrygeist.
There it is.
Mm.
To the guy who invented zero, thanks for nothing.
Yep. Oh, I don't know what to say about the CGC turn times because our first submission this year was the first appearance of Boba Fett, 2 copies of that. And when we submitted that, Jimmy the Geek Aficionado did the CPR of those books. Cracked them, pressed them, cleaned them, resubmitted them for us, and we did it in a fashion thinking that they were going to be back November or December, right? Because it's an 85-day turn time for Fast Track Moderns. That submission was the shipping company said, okay, it's on site, it's there, it's delivered. 10 days later, they opened it and scheduled it for grading. Then 27 days after that, they were back to my door on their way back.
So
and I
that's
don't know
cool.
how that happened when they're quoting 85-day turn times. Maybe it was because it was just a package with 3 books. It was essentially just an envelope. It was just a
maybe,
really
yeah.
heavy-duty envelope, and Jimmy marked Fast Track all over the envelope so they wouldn't miss it. So I thought it was
Good idea.
that was a fluke. Maybe it was just a small order. But then this last one that we did had 6 books in it. Same thing.
And you got that back fast, yeah.
And that was in 21 business days they graded it, and they only had it 7 days before they opened the box. So I don't know what juju happened or what lottery we mysteriously won, or I don't get it. Like, I thought people were going to start stoning me and shouting from the rooftops about me lying, but I'm like, I clipped the things, clipped the information. I'm like, you guys count. That's 27 days, or that's just 21 days.
Thankfully, this is my last round of really doing stuff with CGC. I might send, before my subscription is up, I might send a few like reholders in just to like get nicer cases, but I've cut my subscription, so it won't renew in November. So
I think I'm going to start writing Comic Man Andy on all my boxes I send to him to see if I have the luck.
JP with a doozy there. That's a good
one. Yeah. My friend's bakery burned down. Now his business is toast.
Wow. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, we could always read this again, Andy. All-Star Superman.
There you go.
I like the McFarlane Spider-Man
Yeah, actually,
suggestion.
I did too.
And if there's more people in the chat that want to make a suggestion of what Comic Core's Modern Men group should read coming up for a comeback episode, please share it in the chat. The McFarlane Spider-Man run's a good idea. All-Star Superman was fun, but
you did that already.
Yeah, I think we did. Did we do the whole thing or just the first half?
I think we did the first half.
Yeah.
Why can't you explain puns to kleptomaniacs?
Because they're always taking things for granted.
They take things literally.
Oh, I was close. Yes. I used this one many moons ago and was like quickly removed from somebody's stream for saying this. Yeah, kicked out for a minute. It was fun.
A cartoonist was found dead. Details are sketchy. I removed the shell from my racing snail to make it faster, but it just got more sluggish.
Racing snail? Gary?
Life as a professional yo-yoer has its ups and downs.
That's a classic. Tom Taylor Nightwing.
I've heard some really good things. Oh, it just seems like Tom Taylor is like pretty much the most consistent writer in mainstream comics right now. So I definitely need to read some more Tom Taylor. Injustice would be another good one, actually.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, like
That would
I've
definitely
heard
take me
nothing
out
but
of my
great
norms.
things.
That would be a good read. How? It's the only thing frustrating about bagging and boarding is when you get into like doubles and triples of things, and it's like,
Yep.
I mean, if it was like quadruple ASM 300s, then sure, but
Well, for sure. The shovel was the first real groundbreaking invention.
oh, I
did-
put an S.
I
on
was
my
rolling
racing
yesterday
snail,
in
that
your-
way I
in
can
that chat.
clear him on. Solo.
Escargot. There it is.
Oh. I'm sure somebody out there has a TikTok where all they do is dad jokes, so
Oh, Jesus.
that's got to be a thing.
I'll skip that one.
Yeah, let's rename it John's Comics with Dad Jokes. There you go.
Just watch the YouTube channel plummet.
Wow. Oh, as it is, end of summer, beginning of the school year, seems like everybody's busy getting vacations in. It seems like YouTube's been pretty quiet overall for everybody.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice, to see that people are getting out and doing stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
took up
Andy.
fencing. The police insisted I give it back.
I just
Oh,
want to thank you, Andy. I was thinking about actually going outside today, but then I saw you were live with a StreamYard link. I'm like, screw it. I'll stay inside.
you don't want to go outside?
It looks nice, but I was just like,
There was
hang out with Andy.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't down by Elkhart. There was a convention that I almost wanted to
Oh,
go
yeah?
to today. Yeah,
I was with all like the northern Indiana, like South Michigan random Comic Cons this year.
yeah,
There's
South
been
Bend and
nothing around me.
Elkhart. Like you're probably 3 hours away from the
Yeah,
border.
exactly. Yeah.
That's quite the trek. But even Skeff almost went to it, and he was
Really?
messaging me last night, and about 30 minutes before he messaged me, we actually bought tickets to my son's first ever movie.
Oh wow.
And bought tickets online, and I was really excited for that because you sit there as a parent of our first child, like when do you make these decisions for these firsts, right? Like this first
Mhm.
this or this first that, or so I don't know when was it really appropriate to bring him to a movie, because one, he won't sit through a 20-minute show at home without going crazy, and then rampage. He's a boy, so he rampages around everywhere, chases the dogs, and has a blast. This kid sat through an hour-and-a-half movie, no problem, and loved that Paw Patrol movie.
Oh, so you didn't take him to Candyman?
I have thought selfishly, I'm like, what if we got him to sit through Shang-Chi? I kind of really want to see that too, but I don't know. I'm really excited.
I went to Shang-Chi yesterday. It was really good. Like, I think it's easily the best movie of the year in theaters.
Okay, I got to find the night to watch that then, because I'm hearing that
recommend it.
pretty much everybody in the community, everybody that I know or have talked to recently have said that.
I mean, was it the best Marvel movie ever? No, obviously not, but it was better than I expected. I didn't have the highest expectations, but it was good.
Genie, sue me.
Sue me.
Shang-Chi wasn't bad for a kid. I didn't doubt that that'd be a decent quality movie for just about anybody to sit through with guidance or parental guidance. But the problem was, I was worried about it holding his attention and keeping him in his seat.
For sure.
And Paw Patrol did that quite well, actually. Luke's Comics, what is good, man? Congratulations on your first YouTube video yesterday. That was dope,
nice.
man.
It was an experience for sure.
I think they all are.
Yeah, I think everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, so I had to keep it for the comedic value.
There you go.
I think we had a power loss.
Yeah, that was my
Lights
favorite. That was
went
my
out in the
favorite
room.
part. And
That's
he
what
rolled-
Skeff
he
said.
rolled
He
with
was
it the
like,
whole time. The lights
Wait,
went
would
off
you
and
lose your
everything.
internet though?
No. It was like the lighting was hooked up to the USB and the TV went off, and then the lighting went off. So
That's amazing.
it was yes, it was amazing.
I'm
Lee
reading a
bad.
book about anti-gravity right now. It's impossible to put down.
Oh, that's a good one. I still like the lawn mowing joke. The guy just didn't cut it. JP had that one. That was really good. what
Did I
are
miss
two,
it?
Oh, no.
what are two janitors who live together called?
Two janitors that live together. And what is it?
They're called broom mates. Ow.
That's a good one.
Why is that one so funny to me? I don't know why.
I don't know.
Oh. I'm never gonna get through these comics. Oh yeah. So Peter Parker's Pants. I never really got a chance to talk to that a whole lot with people. One's called the Midwest Comic Book Convention Circuit on Facebook, if I remember right. Let me see if I can find that while we're all hanging out here.
Yeah, I was thinking about going at least to maybe Indiana Comic Con for a day or so. I think that's next month. I might try to go to Baltimore. I know we mentioned it one time, but I may go back to Baltimore this year too, just because I somehow have that week off.
Oh God, so cute.
Oh God!
That's for Alec right there.
Yeah.
He loves a good emo joke.
somebody send that in the chat for Alec. Okay.
Oh, man,
God bless America. Here you go. Peter Parker's Pants. This is on Facebook, the Midwest Comic Book Conventions. This is just kind of like the Great Lakes area, and maybe a little further out over towards where like JP lives. And sensitive content. Ooh. I went to they had one in South Bend a few months ago that I went to, which was really small, but a lot of fun nonetheless.
Sometimes that's where you get the best deals and the best books, though.
This is true. And then because I found them, I actually found some other convention circuit kind of stuff, and it just kind of turns into a rabbit hole that you dive into that works out.
Oh, here's another modern men read we need to do, Andy.
Ooh, yes.
Fraction Hawkeye. Second print. Yeah, that's the second print. I don't even know how many printings of this thing there are. Oh, man.
1/4 one.
And look at the reactions from like Paul Dunn and other people are just like,
Why are you so upset? I don't know what the word apocalypse means. It's not the end of the world.
oh. God. This was a really cool ROM night cover or ROM Space Night cover.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool Bill Sienkiewicz art in that run. Actually, I think I tried to sell those once. I still have them sitting in a box up there. I was listening to you talk about it a little bit earlier, and I have like probably the same run that you do, like all the books without the keys.
Yeah,
so I think you get obviously issue 1, and then there's like the second and third appearance of Rogue is in that run for some reason.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. I do have that one.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a great run.
And those are not in my run, but I probably have every other issue of ROM Space Night.
It's not that the man didn't know how to juggle; he just didn't have the balls to do it.
Nice.
Oh, we're gonna check out the sensitive content real quick and
Oh,
hold on 1 second. I can't do it. Let me get there.
I'm scared now.
wow.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh man. soon.
Nick Cage is really falling on hard times.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. My money's in Ghost Rider. The poor guys. Burning up.
Bike just exploded.
Oh, I'm gonna need a nap after this.
JP's got another one. Yep.
After a long time, I told my hot coworker how I felt. She felt the same way. So I turned on the air conditioner. I thought that was going to have to do something
It
about
went a different way, right? It went a different
standing next
way.
to a stove or whatever.
My friend asked me to name 2 containers that hold water, and I said, "Well, damn."
Damn.
Oh, yeah. I got to remember that one. Speaking of that, why did the blind man fall into the? Oh no, I only remember the first half of it. Apparently,
That's a really good sign of a dad joke.
yeah, that one just fell flat. Good
I try to tell
gravy.
people that I don't like going to funerals that are early in the morning because I'm just not a morning person.
Carson, 2 more of them.
Oh, but 2 more?
What was that,
Wow.
John?
I said I try not to tell
still
people. I tell people I try not to go to funerals that are early in the day because I'm not a morning person.
That joke's going to be pushing up daisies here soon.
Newsstand.
No, that didn't work
I
either.
hate to carry my luggage around the airport. I rest my case.
There you go.
Oh,
There we go.
this is just too much.
Here's the one for you, Andy. An expensive laxative will give you a run for your money.
That's a good one.
And the budget laxative tastes like Taco Bell.
There's a new type of broom out. It's sweeping the nation.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Oh,
What was the one like the cannibal passed the clown in the woods and it tasted funny?
Did that taste funny to you?
Yeah,
It's like Savage Dragon.
Totally blew the-
Yeah.
oh,
3rd issue of the miniseries.
Ooh, newsstand.
J. Scott Campbell fan art in the back. Gotta love that. I guess
My
I could go to
friends,
that
my
one
friends
real
say I'm getting fatter, but in my defense, I've had a lot on my plate lately.
wow.
quick. That was some of J. Scott Campbell's first published work.
Nice. Oh,
It's awkward in my bathroom when I get naked because the shower usually gets turned on.
so hot in here.
That's a good one.
Can't breathe.
Yeah, I've seen that one before, JP. That's a good one.
Oh,
Oh, no.
ah,
JP's got another one.
this is a gold mine today.
If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving's not for you.
Oh, man.
That's a good one.
Oh, I forgot I had that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Andy.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go, Andy.
I love foil. You know what? That is still to this day, sadly, I don't own a graded copy of that in 9.8.
Oh, Punisher 99.
Yep, for a long time it was like a $60 book, and then just in the last year and a half, it's like $100 to $150 asking price, and I'm like, no.
I've
I
had
won't pay
this
that
copy since I bought it, and I think it's still in the original bag and board I bought it in. Looks pretty good. I
Nice.
get a new bag.
I want to get a newsstand 9.8 of that one of these days.
My local LCS had a live auction. They have a live auction every Wednesday night on Facebook, and I just scored a gold foil X-Men 2099.
Sweet.
Ooh, very
So
nice.
pretty stoked about that.
Ooh, Marvel Age.
Yeah, I like getting these Marvel Ages for cheap when I can.
It's a great Thanos cover.
Yeah, Ron Lim.
I buy all my guns from a guy who calls himself T-Rex. He's my small arms dealer.
There you go.
That's a good one. That's a
It's
good one.
funnier for me now too because I actually just watched that scene in Breaking Bad last night where he was dealing with the arms
man.
dealer.
Get JLSs.
Oh, I don't know this one, so I'll have to read this one. What's the time difference between a tire? I mean, what's the difference between a tire and 365 used condoms? One's a good year and the other is a great year.
I didn't realize I was supposed to know how to do everything by my second rodeo. That seems like a very low amount of rodeos.
This is true. Yes, hands down. Hands
Deo.
down, 630. Moving on to the last pack.
My roommates are concerned that I'm using their kitchen utensils, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Couldn't even get it out.
Yeah, that's good.
A whisk I'm really willing to take. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, you know what? My wife has started calling me the drill. You know why? Because I'm boring.
My
Yeah.
grandma told me
Yeah.
her joints are getting weaker, so I told her to roll them tighter.
Grandma's OG.
Hits keep coming.
My wife asked me to go get 6 cans of Sprite from the grocery store. I realized when I got home that I picked 7 up.
Nailed it.
Yep.
There you go.
That's right. Shout out to people who don't know what the opposite of in is. Shout out to people who don't know what the opposite of in is.
What is the term for when a person dies and comes back as a hillbilly? It's reincarnation.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh. Reincarnation.
I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, but my parents told me the sky was the limit.
I love that one and use that one wholeheartedly for a week. Oh,
I hit the 2099 section here. So,
Doom, yeah.
Nice.
That full run was actually a fun read. Yep.
X-Men.
And then you got the gold one.
That's
right?
about it. I think it's in a pile of boxes here somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yes,
Saving those.
Love that web of
Maybe the
Spider-Man.
next fail on YouTube.
I think I keep buying the same ones. I don't have like all of Craven's Last Hunt, but I have like probably 2 or 3 copies of this one. I just
That's
keep finding
great.
for cheap. I love Craven's Last Hunt.
The butcher walked backwards into his meat grinder and got a little behind in his work.
God.
I still like
That's
the
good.
soap opera one there too. I'm not getting a whole lot of bagging and boarding done, but that's okay. What do you call a Frenchman wearing sandals? Philippe Flop.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh. Oh, yeah. There you go, John.
Yep.
Do you ever get an opportunity like to use these in class?
No,
No?
I want my kids to pay attention.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What was the one? It was something like a doctor walked into a bar and was immediately disqualified from the limbo competition.
that joke's a real low blow.
Hey-o. That's a classic one.
This one's so
Millions.
OG, I forgot about it.
Yep.
How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Scarecrow outstanding in this field is a classic, and I think that one's so well traveled now that I haven't been able to get anybody caught on that one.
Nope.
My wife got me with that one like 2 weeks ago. He's the big banner, and I lost some points because I didn't know that one.
Tight leather jackets are hard to pull off.
Yes, they are. Oh, so many ROM books.
All right,
Do I have down here?
I'm quitting while I'm way behind.
I can't breathe right now. Did you hear about the cannibal that passed his brother on the sidewalk? What? Wait. Oh, it's a poop joke.
Oh, it's a poop joke.
Get it? Like he passed him?
He passed him.
Oh, so low. That was so low.
Did you see the nice my variants I unboxed on Friday? Ooh.
I still need to go pick up my copy of that Superman 78. That
Yeah,
looks
these
awesome,
were
though.
these were the Miko Suyan variants from Big Top Collectibles or something like that. Big
Nice.
Top Comics. But
Yeah,
it looks exactly like Christopher Reeve. I was like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's amazing. And then they, of course, they had the Batman '89 one.
Nice. Yeah, I finally got a 608 second print like 2 weeks ago. That's one of the books I sent out recently, but I've been looking for that book for since 2002, basically.
Oh goodness, Burke's here. I don't have any
What
more from
happened to
books.
Lois?
Burke, I'm sorry.
This is just some random
Ooh,
stuff.
I have a copy of that, Carson. My daughter
really?
loves those old Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend books.
Yeah, I got
More
a lot
like
of
a
them
warlord.
just laying around, like that and the Jimmy Olsons, of course.
Right.
Let's see if I can clean that. It's gross. Lois had a really bad day on this cover. I'm not sure what the hell that green stuff is, but yeah, this one may just be put down here.
Send that one to Bear Island so he can do a.
Oh, that's a cool cover.
Yeah, I like this one. 20 center. With the X-ray vision.
Right.
Nice. I actually found this for 20 cents the other day.
Oh wow!
I don't know why it was in a 20-cent bin, but like I don't collect these, but I'd feel dumb leaving it.
And that's actually, it sees some wear on it, but usually those things are destroyed.
Oh yeah, no, this is. I mean, there's chipping and stuff, but it's nowhere near as bad as a lot of the ones I've seen.
There it is, Luke. The one from earlier.
There he goes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I totally botched that one. Congrats, Luke. Good job.
Ooh, Flash.
Flash.
Wait, did they change the price on that in pen?
Yeah, they tried to change it to 30 cents, but it's a 20 cents.
That's a secret variant.
I did pay 20 cents for this, so I feel accomplished in that.
JLS.
Oh wow.
That's classic. Oh.
Doctor Strange Special Edition #1. It's a cool cover.
Yes,
Nice.
with all the skeletons.
Ooh.
I remember that one. That's a cool cover, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have
think
many
it
much
looks
Doctor
pretty, huh?
Strange. I've only like 3 or 4 issues of Doctor Strange. Most
I
of
love
them
the
are
Frank
like
Bruner stuff the best.
I mostly just have the Donny Cates stuff when it's like introducing Bats the dog and turning him into a ghost, because I think that is a character they need in the MCU, in my opinion. A ghost dog that follows Doctor Strange around and talks to him. How do we not have this already?
Right?
Speaking of Doctor
Such a
Strange, did
great
you guys
character.
catch the last What If?
I'm 2 episodes behind. I haven't watched.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, it's a good episode, but be prepared to have your heartstrings wrenched.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Don't get that enough in 2020/2021.
right. It's starting to come off there a little bit.
I've read the entire series with both of my girls, Millions, but I have not been recording them because Charlie got way ahead of me. She just took off reading, and I had to like catch up to her. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my projects tonight is to get that third movie reviewed.
Yes, because you just did the second one recently.
It just can't. My video just dropped yesterday. I've never watched the Harry Potter series before, so I've finally
Have you read the books at all, or
I have not read the book, so I know
so it's
nothing.
all new for you. Oh, that's
it's all
cool.
new. Every bit of
that's cool.
It's completely
Perfect.
new. So I figured I'd use my goofy YouTube channel to chronicle me finding out about Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, because why not?
Exactly.
That's a good idea. I can't believe you've never watched the Harry Potter movies.
No, I mean, you can go watch the first video, I suppose, but basically explaining that, I was in high school at the time, and it was just too kiddie for me to get in my Pontiac Sunfire that I didn't have gas money for to go to the movies that I didn't have money to go see. And yeah,
I think there's definitely like an age gap where people either were into it when they were young and then into the movies, or missed it and now have kids that are getting into it, or just have missed on both sides and they're in the middle.
4:30 in the morning in Japan. Konnichiwa, K Titus.
It's 12:30 here, and I got to go make some lunch for my girls.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to read the books at some point. I just need that time.
Sure. Well, I can help you with book 3 because I've got the entirety of book 3 in basically my YouTube channel as like an audio file. So you can
that's awesome.
You can hit that playlist. You were reading
that, weren't you?
Yeah, you can hit the playlist on book 3 and just basically listen to it like a book on tape.
Nice.
I got to finish book 4. That was kind of what Millions was saying because I got like half of book 4, or third of book 4.
John, before you leave for lunch,
I saw it.
I'm thrilled my wife is into bondage. Oh, my hands are tied.
That may be the winner.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could rewind today by 4 or 5 hours and get a real lunch instead of just movie popcorn. But
that was my dinner yesterday.
Movie popcorn's great.
Yeah,
it's good. I just didn't want to pay $10 for a hot dog.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Grubhub here before our movie theater closed, they were delivering. You could order movie theater popcorn and stuff from the movie theater.
Oh, nice.
Have it delivered.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to head out.
Right, thanks for the laughs, man.
Yeah,
My stomach still hurts.
Have a good Sunday, and holiday weekend.
Feels like Saturday, right?
Right?
Sure does.
All right, gentlemen.
Enjoy the weather.
Peace out.
Not bad. We got a good chunk of that.
My Injustice run here.
Very nice. 3 fish are in a tank. One asked the others, "How the heck do you drive this thing?" Nice. Almost 9 p.m. and where M3 Lions is at. Nice. That's not too bad. Oh wait, no, that means, but they don't celebrate Labor Day in Europe, do they? Oh, he's going to work tomorrow. That bites.
Yeah, actually, I went to work at 4 a.m. this morning.
Was it? Is it Dukes of Hazzard movie where the guy goes, "Don't you know you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day"?
You have a buddy who's been.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know why. All of a sudden, he doesn't like people wear white pants. I'm like, well, dude, you only got 2 more days. Get over it. So I've been messaging him every day. It's just like, hey, you only got 1 more day to deal with those stupid white pants.
We don't live anywhere where people do that regularly.
Cool, thanks, Millions. Says he insta him and he'll send the link for all the audiobooks in his Dropbox.
Is this a Sienkiewicz, Carson?
Believe so, yes.
I love the purple on that.
Yeah, Sienkiewicz in 80, he's one of the best, like, 80s Marvel artists for sure. Like, between that and New Mutants, like, there's so many others you could name, but definitely probably like my favorite 80s cover artist from the Marvel side of things.
I don't know much about Rom, other than he's a space knight.
I remember as a very young kid in the 80s when I visited my aunt and uncle, like they babysat us for like a weekend or something like that so my parents could get out and do something. my uncle's comic book collection back then was all like DC War stuff, and like I saw Rom the Space Knight in there, and I remember reading that first like 10 or 12 issues of Rom the Space Knight.
Nice.
Yeah, these are underappreciated covers. That
Oh,
all
yeah.
purple
Well,
cover, then issue 54, this all black bloody cover. This is super cool.
Oh, and then honestly, I think his best work may be the Moon Knight run, though.
Yeah.
He has some of the best covers. Like, there's actually, like, when I sold most of my Moon Knight run, I kept a good chunk of them just because I love the Sienkiewicz artwork.
Yeah, and some of those Moon Knight covers, now that there's lots of speculation information going on with Moon Knight, those Sienkiewicz covers are going for non-key, even Sienkiewicz covers are going for really good money. So it amazes me that there aren't more. That's one of the things talked about in the collector community is there's not a lot of collectors collecting specific artist works or runs anymore, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I mean, because, you got your key collectors, which I think is a good chunk of your, collectors overall. And then, the run fillers, most of the readers, they either just go hardcover, trade, digital. Like, you don't really need to collect everything to get the run right anymore like you used to.
Yeah.
Q&A question.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Just waiting for him to type it in. Podcast got a question. What's your biggest fear? What hobby do you do? What is your favorite food? Did you take a vaccine for COVID-19? Like a fake,
Whoa.
like a Facebook question.
Rapid fire.
Yeah. Our we're all about comics. We're just bagging and board and talking about comics today.
Comics are all right.
I hate spiders. That's about it.
Andy, why did the chicken cross the road? Big Will says.
Here we go.
To get to the other slide. No, that's not it. I don't know, Big Will. I can't remember. There's a few different versions. I can't remember all of them.
Oh, God. Go up here.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Attempted suicide? Wow.
Wait.
Yeah,
right.
so that makes me
Okay.
wonder, do you guys know why the toilet paper didn't cross the road? We got stuck in the crack. That was bad.
Potty humor always gets me.
Yes.
All right.
Speaking of worst nightmare and fears, I don't know if you guys can hear that. The mini-me's terrorizing the dogs upstairs right now.
I had this Injustice run Luke show, and that's the one I said we might need to read, Andy, because I've been wanting to read that Injustice stuff too. I've heard nothing but great things.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't read this. I just scooped it up recently when I saw I totally spec'd it because
Ooh.
I saw that they were going to do a movie. And so as soon as I saw that, I went on Mercari and
Right.
somebody had a lot on there for like $20 and I snagged it.
Nice.
And then she messaged me afterwards and she was like, I see what you did there, or something like, well played. And I was like, yep, sorry.
Nice. Got some cover collectors in the chat. Peter Parker's
Yeah.
Dance collects those. Dave Stevens. Dave Stevens is there's some awesome covers there. And Andy, do you get these Peach Momoko covers, or seems to be like 10 of them a week?
I got a few of the Peach Momoko covers, but it's in like series that I'm collecting, like Something is Killing the Children. I almost grabbed some of
Dude,
the
Something is
X-Men
Killing
stuff,
the
like
Children.
Demon Days, but
So good.
I still don't own one Peach Momoko anything. I'm somehow, oh God.
a man died after drinking varnish. It was a terrible end, but a beautiful finish.
Oh, that may be the new winner for me.
That's a good one.
Oh God.
That is a good one. I love that. Was an excellent finish. That is true.
That's a pretty good one.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big DC guy. I'm more of a Marvel guy, and Boom Studios, Image, but
I am as well, but
That's
Modern
a
Men
few.
helped open up my thoughts to a lot of other DC reads. And that's the thing is, just like Marvel, you could wade through a million things before you find 10 things that you really like. And Modern Men really helped me find a lot of DC reads that I liked.
that's cool.
How many Lois Lanes you got, Carson?
Nice. Let's see. Do I have a box near me here?
I just found a one. I just found an Action Comics one that was the Lois Lane was the monster.
Oh my. Oh my. These do I like bugs? You can take them or leave them. Which one do you hate the most? I don't know. Like, I don't really live like in a spider area. Spiders aren't really a big deal where I live. So bugs aren't really, if you're down in South America and you get those bird-eating hairy tarantulas, that's nightmare fuel right there. Those things are like
technically
that big around.
Technically, they're arachnids.
Oh, that's true. They're not bugs. You're right. Yeah, those aren't really bugs.
I dislike spiders for sure.
I think there's Black Widow and the Recluse are kind of what we have
brown
up here in Michigan.
Brown recluse.
Actually, I don't have that many Lois Lanes. They must have got rid of a bunch of them. Only got like.
When I went to school in Texas, man, they had every kind of bug that could sting you and bite you.
I bagged and board about 8 of them.
Ooh.
I guess I'll show them off to Big Will here.
I will say banana spiders are nasty. Like down in Florida, banana spiders will make
109
giant webs going across like trails. Like if you could be driving around through a 2-track trail, kind of like off-roading in Florida somewhere, and by the time you get done, you could have gone through like 10 banana spider webs and have them crawling all over your vehicle, and that's nightmare fuel too. That's like those things are huge.
Are banana spiders poisonous?
So if I remember correctly, I should Wikipedia this or look it up or something. I think banana spiders are poisonous, but I think their fangs are too small to puncture human skin.
I really like this cover.
Kind of sounds like the Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah. I hate rats, says M3 Lions. I've never Baltimore Comic-Con 2019 was the first time I've ever run into actual wild rats before. People talk about it. People talk about it. You see it on the movies. Like we've got field mice and we've got like general kind of rodents and whatnot. But like when you go to a city or go to a place and they say, "Hey, watch out for the rats," they weren't lying in Baltimore. That was a thing, and those things were as big as cats.
Huh? Straight out of like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, there's a Splinter level right there. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? What would you do if the girl came out of the TV? What? I'm talking about the Ring Scary. So fast food, I don't know anymore. Culver's is probably
Whataburger.
Oh yeah,
Whataburger is the greatest burger chain. I miss it all the time. I live here in Maine, and we don't have them. So
if we had one over here, I would probably enjoy that quite a bit. But the one I go for the most is Culver's. Just the way they do those flat top burgers. Oh my god, those are delicious.
I've never had that.
I'd say your lower tier fast food. I would settle for like Arby's or Wendy's. Like McDonald's, I'm retired from that place. I'm never going there again. But like I'd say like Culver's, Five Guys. Those are great.
Ooh, Five Guys. Yeah, Five Guys is great.
When they first put a Five Guys in here, I'm like, this is the greatest burger I think we've ever had locally. And then the last couple of times, it's just like it's been good, but they want twice as much for a burger as most of the other places, and I can get a burger that good or better at Culver's for like half the price. Now I'm letting I'm getting old and cranky now when I'm talking about that. But I'm like,
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, Andy. It's just like I feel like, at least for me, like I can just fire up my grill and cook a burger and like get a whole pack of meat for almost as much as it would to be like take you and your friends or family out to a fast food burger joint. So I'd almost rather just do it myself and it tastes a lot better.
Yeah, it's like the last time I went and got our favorite burgers, just the wife and I, we went to Five Guys. It was like $30 for 2 people for just cheeseburgers. And I'm like, that seems like a lot.
The milkshakes are great though.
Their fries are good.
Yeah, the Five Guys fries.
I don't really the ring girl. The ring girl doesn't scare me though.
Probably kick her back into the TV to answer the question, I guess.
Yeah. I actually do paranormal investigations as like a hobby.
I've got a buddy that lives locally by me that does the same thing.
Yeah. And I live here in Stephen King land, so
nice.
Not a lot scares me, but spiders do.
More books that I need to back.
There is an asylum not far from where I live where it was actually Those damn comics are falling behind me again. I can't keep those things straight now. There was an asylum where they actually, it was a mental health
The
institute
dojo's
like,
haunted.
in the early 1900s. And
Mhm.
the story behind that is when all of those experimental lobotomies and all that other stuff was going on back in the turn of the century, that they used to do that stuff there. And now it's kind of like a destination where paranormal hunters or experts go
Oh, for
to
sure.
try to find stuff, ghosts and whatnot. And that's like the one
Yep.
like truly scary place in Michigan that I can think of. I don't know about Detroit or way up north, but that place just sounds like movie level nightmare fuel. If they figured,
Yeah,
or
I've been
they
into
scared
a
lot
bunch of
stuff.
places like that. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, I'm part of a local group here. Been doing it since 2009,
Oh wow.
and been on numerous. It's about helping the people for me, but and kind of figuring out what I experienced when I was a kid growing up and stuff like that. So just one of those things. After I got out of college, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. And I saw Ghost Hunters on TV, and I was like, people really do this stuff, and so
I would definitely
So
rather
why
spend
not?
a night in an asylum than be the president of the United States.
right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Because you could at
Some of
least
those
like go into the
songs.
asylum and just drink yourself to sleep and then wake up with a massive hangover the next day and leave. I'm probably never going to put a serious dent in this collection. Just bagging and boarding. But I hate
Is it
to.
all?
What's that?
Is it all ROM?
Just this first chunk by my hand is. Next to it, there's a bunch of Silver Surfer stuff. Then there's
Yep.
like the Comet Man that I can see. Ooh, Gen 13 number 5?
Oh yeah, number 5.
Yep.
Yeah, it's from the mini.
But it's one of those things
Said-
where it's like, if I'm not going to keep these books, I'd feel terrible sending them out in these really old bags and boards because the
Oh, for
plastic
sure.
is falling apart. And
Like if I actually do a whatnot, when I keep saying I'm going to do one, but I don't want to I want to send out people books that are double boarded, bagged. Like how I would like to.
oh yeah, ROM 70. See, oh my, the
ROM,
plastic-
what's ROM number 1 at? Isn't that like that book blew up?
3 copies of ROM 71. 2 of them are newsstand, but they're in baggies. ROM 1 still is what I would consider an affordable book. I think. I don't think that book moved much back when the Micronauts speculation was happening and those keys kind of went up. This was like 2-3 years ago, Carson. I think. I
Sounds
think
right.
ROM
yeah,
1
'cause
saw a little bit of a bump due to something with that, but
yeah, isn't it like somebody owns all those licenses to like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Micronauts, and ROM? I can't remember if it was all Hasbro properties. It might be, but usually Hasbro and all the toy companies just drop all their stuff in the movies and such. Obviously, we just got a Snake Eyes movie that was not very good. Transformers is on break, so I think everyone was like, well, I'll probably move on to Micronauts or ROM next or something like that.
yeah, they dropped the Snake
The
Eyes.
new Snake Eye. Yeah, the new Snake Eyes movie looks great. I just haven't seen it.
I mean, the action's not bad. Just what gets me is I'll kind of spoil the final scene is it kind of ends, where there's this cool shot in the trailer where he's in full costume and he's driving on the motorbike. That's the closing shot of the movie. He didn't have the costume in pretty much the entire movie. And that really got on my nerves.
Hasbro announced a shared universe a while ago through Allspark Pictures. That's all up in the air now. Okay, so that was probably that Micronauts speculation, and then a ROM and a couple of things like what you're saying.
Yeah, I think they tried in Snake Eyes to expand the G.I. Joe storyline. Like, you have Baroness in there for nearly no reason. And, of course, Scarlet, even though she should have been in the movie for a reason because her and Snake Eyes have their relationship in the comics and such, but she's kind of there for no reason as well. So they tried to plant the seeds, they just didn't sprout.
Yeah. Some stuff just doesn't take off. But then it seems like everything's taking off now. everything.
That being said, I would love to see a good G.I. Joe movie, though. I love G.I. Joe stuff.
Has there ever been a good G.I.
Oh,
Joe movie?
sure.
Really, Retaliation, I didn't think was too bad. The one with The Rock, I thought it was
The se-
fine.
The second one, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least the action's decent. The
I mean-
comedy's actually kind of funny.
I didn't watch any of them.
Yeah, the first one, yeah, I'd say you could pass on. The action's not bad, but the characters aren't near as good.
Incredible martial artist.
Yeah, you get Ray Park in both of them at least, so he's always great doing the stunt work.
There's been a severe lack of good movies to watch lately, and it's like I've noticed like my theater has not had an IMAX 3D movie running in it for well over a year, and I'm like, can I please get an IMAX 3D movie here?
That's been my trick into getting like not having to go to crowded movies. Like when I went and saw Shang-Chi yesterday, I have what's called the AMC A-list, which basically you can just pay $20 a month and go see 3 movies a week for no additional cost. But you can select the 3D option. So since a lot of the cheapskates don't want to pay like $14-15, however much it costs to go sit in a 3D movie, they'll just go to like the 2D showing, which is like a fraction of the price, but it'll be sold out. So I was like, I want to go see Shang-Chi, but I don't want someone breathing down my neck. So I just went to the 3D showing, and there was like, maybe it was like 25% full on the opening weekend. So that's kind of nice to not be able to kind of social distance still.
Our theater was pretty packed for
Yeah.
Shang-Chi. Like we walked in, like I saw, like I don't know about everybody else's theaters, but we can go online to their website and actually get assigned seating and buy specific seats.
Yeah, we have some of those.
And when I checked on that again this morning to see how busy the theater would be, and there was maybe 3 sets of families in there, so it was dead. It was dead empty. I'm like, well, that's fine. I don't mind that, but the line to get through concessions was 3 times as long as I've ever seen it, and the theater was packed for that Shang-Chi movie. I really want to go see that.
JLS says,
Yeah, I want to see it.
The best G.I. Joe movie. Yeah, Shang-Chi's definitely worth going and seeing. And I mean, if you compare it to say like Black Widow, I think it was a lot better than Black Widow.
I almost broke down. Like speaking of not a lot of movies that are out right now, it's especially noticeable on streaming. Like when you want to watch something at home, as far as new movies go, it's early access for Black Widow. It's early access for Shang-Chi and a couple. There's not a lot of movies out.
Now, I love going to the movies too, and it's a shame because I got so bored with the movies this summer. I actually went and saw Fast 9 or whatever the hell it was called.
Oh, you did?
And yeah, I haven't seen one since the first one. I've only seen 2 Fast and Furious movies now. The first one and the newest one. And oh my god, I call it the Saints Row of the movies, basically. Like Saints Row started off as a GTA clone, and now it's just a full-blown comedy game that's open world. Like Fast 9, they actually go into space in this one. So at least it was just stupid funny. I will say this, like it would have been a very entertaining 2-hour movie. It did not need to be longer than that, and it was a lot longer than that.
Oh wow.
So that's where most
I might just send you this one, Andy.
Storm.
Oh, nice.
Firestorm and Storm.
I know you like the foils.
Last night we broke down and rented on Amazon Prime Midway because I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit of a history buff. I'm like, I like aviation stuff. I'm like, this should be pretty good. And there was literally, we spent an hour looking for movies and we settled on Midway. And good Lord, was that not good? Like, obviously, like it's based off of actual history. So as far as the writing goes, it wasn't too bad. But most of the actors that were on there were great. Was Mandy Moore was actually a decent actor in there, even though she just played a small part. And a couple of the other small parts from like Woody Harrelson were decent. But I'm like, that was a big blockbuster movie in 2019, and it just didn't deliver at all. Maybe it's because I'm just falling out of that target audience group now that most of the movies I see them advertising for look like crap, like straight crap. Rom-coms, dramas, all this other, storytelling or telling of the lives of certain people. And I'm like, or just want to be wowed by a great IMAX 3D movie without a bunch of drama.
I will say
You know?
this about Shang-Chi too. I think it had some of the better 3D I've seen from a Marvel movie lately too. I mean, just when those because there's sequences where the rings are flying all over the screen and that actually looks really good in 3D.
If I mentioned anything about streaming Shang-Chi, I'm incorrect. I meant to say Black Widow and the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie. Shang-Chi is theater only for at least the first 45 days, is my understanding. Got great.
I'm gonna bounce. I gotta go get ready for dinner. So
yeah, I think I got about another half an hour to an hour in me where I'm just gonna sit and bagboard and chit chat, and then we're gonna go to dinner too.
See, I think I got one more book.
all right. See you guys later.
Luke, thanks
Take
for
it
coming
easy,
in, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, yeah, congratulations again, Luke, on your first YouTube video on your YouTube channel. You guys should give Luke a sub. Go over, support him, check that out, and see what he drops next. I know he started doing the yeeting the packages around the room. That was really cool. Justice League. Holy moly.
34. I can't remember if this was. Yeah, it's an Adam Hughes. Early Hughes.
Very cool.
So that's the last book. Finally. Andy, I always got to thank you for having these streams because I actually managed to get my stuff bagged and boarded somehow.
Ooh. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
That's got to be a Sienkiewicz.
good.
That's got to be a Sienkiewicz, kind of reminiscent of some other Moon Knight covers.
Yeah, I still have that one. Do I have that box near me? Yeah, I do actually. I might still. Let's see what Moon Knights I've got here. And as I said, I still have this unbagged and unboarded Last Ronin number 3.
I've given up on the Last Ronin. I think the next one is coming out this Wednesday, though. Issue 4. I think.
There's only one more after that.
And I'm just like, they killed the hype. They killed the fun by taking so damn long to get that series out.
I'm good with it as long as the story's quality. And all right, here's a couple Moon Knights I kept. Not all of them are Sienkiewicz, but they're still pretty sweet.
Yep.
So I got issue 6. And then it goes right to Sienkiewicz, 23.
Nice.
Yeah, I keep meaning to read this whole run eventually. I got like the first few right on Marvel Unlimited, but I think these are his best covers. I mean, New Mutants, some of those are pretty close, but I would say this is the best Sienkiewicz in my opinion.
Oh, wow. Did Sienkiewicz do that one with like the puma on the face of the puma?
Yeah, that's the one. Like I was like, that'd probably be the last one I get rid of. I think that's my absolute favorite. Now, did I send that off for grading? I'm about to find out because I haven't got back yet. But if it's not in here, that means it's out to CGC or CBCS. Nope, it's right here. Actually, there it is.
That one. It commands a significant value in high grade now.
Yeah, because every one you see, and this one does have a couple ticks, but it's near impossible to find a copy of this with no spine ticks with that black cover.
Yeah.
So I completely get that, but just talk about like the most simple cover yet one of the best covers. I'm going to put it down before I add a crease to it. And then I like this one too. I don't have the other one. I think it's actually a key book, but it's a really good cover on that other one too. And I don't have that one. I think it's like 24 maybe. Huh? Punisher's on that one, but it's not Sienkiewicz. Yeah, everyone loves the Stephen Platt ones too.
I wish I would have pulled the trigger on more of those. Ooh, that's a good one.
And it's not for resale.
Ooh.
And signed by David Finch.
Wish I would have pulled the trigger on more of the Punisher annual, the ones where it's the first battle. See, I love that cover.
Yeah.
Lemire's Moon. We didn't read the Lemire Moon Knight, did we?
No, we didn't read the Lemire New Moon Knight. I need to because I found some for $1.
we read the
Warren Ellis.
Yeah, the Ellis and Declan Shelby's
art.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep. I thought I had that one, but apparently I do not.
That Ellis run has actually been catching a lot of heat because apparently that Moon Knight that they did in that run is the one that they're using for something else.
The Disney Plus series?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the case.
That's the thing about Moon Knight. They could use like pretty much every version, kind of like they did Loki. They could always integrate every version of Moon Knight in there because there's multiple personalities.
That's true. That's true.
So we'll see how crazy. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Oscar Isaac is finally going to get some time to shine in the comic book realm, unlike a certain X-Men Apocalypse movie.
Or Star Wars movies. Yeah.
Or Star Wars movies, that's true. I've been actually finding a lot of dollar Star Wars lately.
I think Star Wars is in a lull. I'm actually keeping an eye on some Star Wars books this weekend that are way lower than they should be at this point when they're ending the next day or two.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's just nothing coming out this season. Like
there's no Christmas Star Wars movie this year.
Yeah, it's all going to hit again next year. So it's a good time to get that first appearance of Dr. Aphra if people out there don't have it. And I'm sure there's other keys in that newer run people are going to find out about sooner than later and wish they would have grabbed right now. But you're probably right. It's kind of a wall time for that stuff.
For sure, Dr. Aphra stuff seems to be plateauing. The high grade stuff seems to be holding around the same price point because I've been looking for opportunities to buy more into that. And I think Book of Boba Fett is the next big Star Wars thing to come out this December.
Maybe. I can't remember if it's this year or early next year.
So that's why I've been buying so heavily on that War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in series and buying everything that goes along with that, because Book of Boba Fett should be mostly a bounty hunters type of show, I think, right?
I would assume, it's probably gonna be a lot of the well, I don't know. They could have a lot of the Mandalorian culture, like the past and that stuff integrated in there, but you figured a show called The Mandalorian would do that too, but I don't know.
And then rumors out now, The Mandalorian's only going to run for 4 seasons total, which actually doesn't surprise me considering they want to get the Ahsoka show out. They want to get the Book of Boba Fett out. They want to get... weren't they planning on doing like a High Republic style show too?
I think they're just going to hit all the bases. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do... I thought the biggest rumor was they're going to do something like Old Republic.
Oh, okay, that's probably what it was then.
Like, kind of, that's why those comics based on that game were heating up a little bit. And then all the Thrawn stuff, of course, too, which I was really hoping I could find an Heir of the Empire #1 for $1, but it hasn't popped yet at the half-price books. I found an issue 2 and issue 3 for 20 cents and $1. I'm like, all right, where's #1?
Wow.
Where's this? It's got to pop up at some point, or at least some of that other run. So,
yep.
I was getting lucky on some of the Dark Horse stuff. And then I found that preview issue in my old bedroom when I was cleaning it. I'm like, well, it's like a sign that the world's trying to tell me I'm going to find this book for cheap soon. But I thought that for a couple other books, and it just never happens.
I found really good high quality or high grade copies of the newsstand, but never. I mean, they're way up there in price, and I'm like, I just can't put a lot of faith into Villain Spec, basically.
Right. No, I get that.
That one, like, if I find it in a dollar bin or if I find it for affordable prices, I would certainly buy it up and get some opportunities to get some books graded. But when they're asking $600, $700, $800, $900 for a raw copy in high grade for a book that's currently kind of, well, I don't know. I was hearing like, I think $1,500 to $2,500. It was $2,000, I think, for a 9.8 of that, if not going for probably way more than that now.
That's crazy.
And
I mean, you're into like Walking Dead 1 territory.
I think it's above that now. I really think it's above the Walking Dead #1 territory.
That's crazy.
Walking Dead 1 is another book that we're still trying to go. I don't think we're going to get it done by the end of the year because now that last season has started and it's brought more information and news.
Oh yeah, don't buy now. Like I think I'm going to try to eventually get that book. I love Walking Dead, of course, too. That early run especially, and issue 1's always been on my want lists, like since I've been introduced to that book, and it's just never.
I don't regret selling it for why we sold our first one.
You had a great reason,
and I think we bought that copy for like $400. And the only complaint that I had, not really a complaint, was that it had the white mature content label on it, not the black. And I really wanted to go for the black one because that one was a little bit harder to get. But then when we were getting married and it was time to pay for our wedding, that book paid for our entire open bar for 150 people.
That's awesome.
So that was like a $1,700-$1,800 book that we picked up for a few $100s several years before that. And I thought that was the bee's knees. It's not going to get any better than that. And for a long while, that book did hover. It spiked and then it hovered and then it cooled back off. I'm like, okay, now it's time to seriously start thinking about buying it again. and then 2021 took everything by surprise as far as pricing and whatnot. And that book is asking prices are anywhere from like high 2000s to $4,000. People put the I'm not going to sell it price tag on it of $4,500. I've seen that on eBay.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people people put them up for auction. They usually go for like what used to be around that $2,000 mark is now pushing 3,000 or better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wait till the show's just completely gone. I mean, there's always gonna be the spinoffs, but I don't think people will treasure the spinoffs as much, and it'll kind of start to phase its way completely
Right.
out.
My hope
after a
is that there's enough of a lull between the show ending and a movie.
Right, exactly, yeah, because they'll probably do something with the main characters once the demand's back.
Well, they did say that there's going to be like a Rick Grimes centric
Yeah.
movie for Walking Dead too.
And that's when things will get really, really hot again.
Yeah, but they said that 2 years
Yeah, I
ago.
was gonna say it's been a minute, hasn't it?
Maybe a year and a half. Long time. I want to say it was like middle of 19 that we were hearing and talking about that, about
Yeah.
a Rick Grimes movie. And
Well, it's when they took him off the show originally, I thought, because everyone was just like, well, is he gone? He's not dead. So then they kind of like, yeah, they're going to make a movie.
yeah, that season in the fall of 18 or that season in the
Yeah.
fall of 19 is when they pulled him from the show, I think.
Yeah.
Well, not pulled him from the show, but his character departed or whatever.
Which
But
I'm really, because this is the last season they're on now of the regular show, right? They're on the final season.
yeah, and people are telling me that, oh God, it's good again. And I'm like, yeah, but it took 5 seasons to get good.
Yeah. I'm curious
know.
to see how they're going to end this thing, because the book obviously had a completely different ending than they could make for the show now.
Well, when they canned Frank after season 1 or season
Yeah.
2 and put Gimple in control, it was never the same.
Hmm.
Like they actually had captured lightning in a bottle at first.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like Frank really played a massive role into bringing it to screen and doing it well and in a certain way. And then when Gimple took control, that first season Gimple did was terrible.
Oh yeah, the second season is not good. Like 3 and 4 are decent, but yeah, the one where they just like hang around the barn and they hang around the barn, and then they're still in the barn.
Yeah. And then they missed a massive, because of Gimple, they missed a massive opportunity for what Walking Dead highlights. I mean, Walking Dead isn't a zombie story; it's a story of humanity, right?
Mhm.
Well, they missed that giant chunk of the governor, like abducting and kidnapping Michonne, and then
Yeah.
torturing Michonne for like weeks or months or whatever. That on screen, if handled correctly, could have like been shocking and appalling. But I mean, like, with you're not going to show everything that they talked about like in the book, but
Mhm.
like that would have made Michonne's character that much more valuable in the rest of the seasons after that, because after that it just didn't.
Yeah, it's so weird the characters they seem to botch, but then they'll do better jobs with other characters. Like Andrew's another example of a character that's so much better in the books, but then you had a guy like Shane. They kept Shane around for another whole season, and he's pretty much, in my opinion, the reason the show kept going. Like his character was so much better than any of the other characters, the way they handled them in that like second season going into the third. And then that's when it kind of normalized as close as it could to the book again.
Yeah, and like Bernthal, that was, I think, really my first introduction to Bernthal as an actor, really.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I think Bernthal captured Shane incredibly well with that level of slight psychosis and slight serial killer-ish alpha male type of situation. I'm like, God, this guy did really good putting Shane on the screen.
And then, of course, I think he was in Wolf of Wall Street as well. That's the second thing I remember seeing him in. And then all of a sudden he was Punisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Punisher.
So I want all those characters back. So bad.
Well, all of their contracts should have sunsetted.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. Big rumor has it Daredevil's going to be in Spider-Man, which hopefully it's a start. But I want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing a movie, but at least get him back on his own in something. I don't want to see him as just like the background guy, even though I think he'd be great at that too. But I eventually want to see another movie or season of Daredevil.
They need to really capitalize on this before Charlie Cox and Bernthal and Wilson Fisk. I can see his face in my head.
I'm the same way right now. It's been a long day
again.
Full Metal Jacket guy.
Vincent D'Onofrio. They
D'Onofrio,
need
yeah.
to capitalize on this stuff before these guys get any older or any of these other characters.
Yeah, I mean, they could do without some of the others. Even though I will say this, it would be nice to be able to look forward to Shang-Chi and Iron Fist meeting up, and that would be cool. But does anyone really want to see Iron Fist again?
Mark's right. His best role he played in was in Fury, and Bernthal did a really good job in that. I forgot about that.
But Andy, I think I'm gonna hop off of here. I actually got all my books boarded and bagged, so I need to.
I wish I could say the same.
Get my nap taken finally.
I wish I could say the same. And I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out.
Thanks for the
I'm gonna
invite.
keep going for a little bit yet.
Yeah, have fun, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, have a great weekend. Man, Bernthal, Punisher, it's got to happen. It's gotta happen. I mean, the Punisher series on Netflix, I think, was pretty good. Bernthal, I think, can do an even better job as Punisher than what we got to see. I think they just need a really good director and a really good producer. They need really, really, really good military advisors on that show. In all seriousness, they really need to hire Marine Corps military advisors for the next Punisher show or movie that comes out with Bernthal on there. Because there's just nuances. There's nuances that people see that just seem silly or don't go over well. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but yeah, Shadow, Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin is, you don't get much better than that. I mean, there are some other suggestions, but I still feel like Vincent D'Onofrio is the Kingpin and should be the Kingpin. That just, and this is another thing I noticed lately. We were fishing around on Netflix looking for stuff to watch. It's just crickets. You know, why didn't Stranger Things happen this July like every other year? They delayed it a year. There's just a lot of other things. And as far as streaming movies go, there just hasn't been a lot of fireworks. There hasn't been a lot of sparks. I know Black Widow is out, but I'm not paying $30 to do early release at home for Black Widow. I'd rather go to the theater and play it. And I don't even know if it's, now that Shang-Chi's, I don't even know if Black Widow is still in the theater locally for me. Shang-Chi is one we're definitely going to go see. All of the good discussions that I'm hearing from people and all of the good comments lead me to really want to be there. Unfortunately, they don't have it in 3D. It's like, man, I miss that 3D IMAX experience. We watched Avengers Endgame, and that was by far the best movie experience of my life. IMAX 3D, it was absolutely stunning. So Shang-Chi should be a good romp. Hopefully we can go see that tonight, tomorrow night, some other nights, anywhere before it's gone in the theater. Black Widow wasn't worth 30 cents. You know what, man? I probably will agree with you after I watch the movie, but at this point, I just want to watch something that's relevant, that just something going on. Like there's the streaming TV shows have been fun with Disney Plus, but Bad Batch was boring. Bad Batch was really boring. My wife tells me that I need to watch the last several episodes of Bad Batch and it'll kind of redeem itself, but maybe it's just that summer lull. Shang-Chi was a blast. Not a game changer, but a good time. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people, is it's not the greatest Marvel movie ever, but it was definitely worth going to the theater and seeing. That's all I need to hear from pretty much like 80% of the people out there. So we're definitely going to make time to go see that. Oh, this poor ROM annual is crunched. End of Space Night. But yeah, just bagging, boarding, hanging out. I really enjoy doing this just to knock out some bagging and boarding, but there's been a tremendous amount of feedback from people in the community that say sitting and hanging out and watching just bagging and boarding comic books, or coming and hanging here, bagging and boarding, has been a lot of fun. And it shows in the analytics too. The Sunday hangout, bagging and boarding, just randomly talking about comic books, even whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, has been the most watched video on this channel. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just a good time. Not everybody likes unboxings, and not everybody likes New Comic Book Day, but everybody in the community that likes comic books, we usually stop by and hang out for a little while, right? There's generally a lot going on the weekends too. So it's like, I know Comics Will Break Your Heart, Jennifer, try to make sure that I don't go live while she's going, because I usually want to be watching that. And I forgot about JP today. Holy moly. I feel bad for stepping on JP because his Hash or Trash, I really wanted to be home in time to watch that as well. Mark, you're listening while you're in the comic room doing a major overhaul and filing. Wow. I need to do that too down here. There are actually right behind me, there's a stack of CGC books that needs to be organized. There's 1, 2, 3 stacks of CGC books over here that aren't even organized, put away. And there's just comic books everywhere. So it'll be time to organize here soon again. It was clean for a while there. Then I let it get the best of me the last couple of weeks. Well, yeah, that's been actually going around on IG. That's been kind of funny. Is I forget the exact hashtag, but it was like people were sharing their cluttered comic book rooms, and I'm like, that's actually very fitting because I feel like that as well. And I should take a picture and send it. I just haven't. Yeah, hopefully everybody's got some decent weather. It was pretty nice out here today. Not too bad. It rained a little bit last night. There was, I think, a storm passed through. But yeah, hopefully things are getting better for people down south that coped with the hurricane. And then what's going on in New York? I'm seeing pictures of New York flooded, like 3, 4, 5 feet of water running down streets and everything. And that just doesn't seem fun at all by any means. I don't know if that's the remnants of the hurricane that swept up that way or if that was a whole different storm. Sometimes you get one bag that's smaller than the rest of them for some reason. There we go. ROM number 50. Special double size 50th issue newsstand. See, there's just a lot of underappreciated ROM covers in this whole run. And I'm willing to bet that I've got probably 80% of the run, minus the keys. Generally, that's kind of what happens. If I find comic book collections available for sale, a lot of them have already been gone through, which is kind of nice because if they've gone through and got the easy to find keys, the easy to pick out stuff, well, then generally there's still some minor keys or some other things that they haven't caught or found. And then, you guys know how fast the market and how fast everything changes lately. Like this comic book collection had a bunch of Kang books in it that weren't worth much of anything last year, the year before. And now the Kang books people are speculating on those. Jason Parker Comics, talk about CGC books and whatnot. If you guys don't know Jason Parker Comics, make sure you subscribe to him down there and check out his CGC unboxings. And that's a wild time. Because of Jason Parker, I've actually been motivated, if you will. The term escapes me at the moment. But Jason, you have motivated me to include my wife in our CGC unboxings because that's been a ton of fun. The sometimes nitpicking back and forth that we do is hilarious. And I'll just try not to edit that out next time. And still, doing a live unboxing on Mail Call Mondays for an hour or an hour and a half, not everybody has that amount of time. So we definitely take that show and clip it down into, I think this last one was about 15 minutes. Clipped it down to 15 minutes so that anybody that's out there in the world that likes CGC unboxings can catch that 15-minute video instead of like an hour and a half. And then I even goofed that one up and actually shared the grades halfway through before I even finished the unboxing. But I'll always do those blind. I absolutely love blind unboxings because, as you guys can see, if you watch that video, that one Kanto book took me by surprise big time. I was very, 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 very shocked. Yes, you're welcome, Jason Parker, man. I think, boy, you're up there in the realm of a few thousand subscribers now, aren't you? You're killing it, dude. Absolutely killing it. Like the production value you put into to your editing. I just haven't gotten there myself, haven't made time to learn some of that as being self-taught, much like you and a lot of other people. It takes a great deal of time, right? It takes a great deal of time and resources. And I really just enjoy live streaming unscripted. I really want to get back into more edited and formatted content, like 10-minute, 5, 10-minute, 15-minute videos, whatever. So eventually it's kind of that wall that I have for myself. I got to build a new PC. When I can do that, I can bump up video quality and then be able to bump up editing skills because I want to get into DaVinci. DaVinci is free, but my computer can't handle it, can't cope with it. I'm using a free version of Shotcut that my computer can cope with, and the options are extremely limited when it comes to editing. I can't really zoom anything. I can't really do a whole lot, but I can at least get the bare minimum done so that I can do some edited videos, which is great. Very time consuming, yeah, especially when you don't know what you're doing. And it takes a solid 2 or 3 times of trying something for hours before it really becomes something you can start saving presets and start saving profiles and then it starts going quick, like thumbnails. Sometimes it just gets to the point where it's like you just decide on one thumbnail for like one style of show, and then you just change out a couple of things so that you're not spending a whole afternoon trying to dream up a new thumbnail or dream up a new style or something like that. I gotta start doing, or I have started slightly doing what a lot of other people are doing, are they're clipping images from their actual content and able to make thumbnails from that, because that just seems better. That's a little bit more realistic, a little bit more genuine too about some of my reactions. So I gotta start doing that more often. I really should. But wow. Yeah, I'll drop that link one more time if anybody wants to pop in. I think I'm probably going to hang out for another half an hour or so. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I'll just keep plugging away at some books. I know we're going to dinner, going to a family dinner here in a little bit. So I'll probably at some point get the call from upstairs to get ready and go. And technically I'm already ready to go. I just got to throw my shoes on and clean myself up just a little bit. But ROM number 9. ROM number 9, Space Knight. I'm sure that once I get done bagging in a newsstand, I'm sure that once I get done bagging and boarding these things and go through this, I probably have the better part of the whole ROM series. I'm sure. I've already got an issue number 1 originally that I bought years ago sitting, so I can combine this whole chunk of ROM with the current chunk of ROM that I actually have, not current reads, but the actual chunk of that series. And I bet you I'm pretty close to a complete run of ROM. It might be. It really might be. That'll be worth investigating probably next weekend. And speaking of next weekend, and speaking of investigating tonight, not gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget tonight when everything's all said and done and we're just chilling out. I'm gonna make sure that I get the Slavaganza giveaway scheduled for the 18th. I'm still dreaming up a time, 5 or 6 p.m., something along that line. Probably. I guess I gotta talk to the boss upstairs to see what she has to say, whether they want to do a really early dinner that Saturday or kind of go at 6 p.m. and then that's still kind of an early dinner. But either way, I gotta get that scheduled. I have a fairly decent idea for a thumbnail that I want to do to try something new. And that's probably going to take a couple hours for a new thumbnail. Speaking of very time consuming, especially when you don't know what you're doing, I have an idea, but we'll see. We'll see, because then when you start creating new thumbnails and you got to mess with lighting, because lighting's a real challenge. And a lot of people know about, understand that challenge. And then if your camera and your lighting isn't good, then you start getting grainy and fuzziness, because as you start zooming in and making the image bigger for a thumbnail, and most of my thumbnails are actually pretty fuzzy because I'm utilizing this camera. I really should. I'll get the DSLR out. See if I can get the lighting right for the DSLR. That's actually really tricky. I'm not sure how DJ Lynx and like Tomorrow Cinema and a lot of the other people with very higher levels of understanding with DSLRs are able to do it as quickly as they do. Because lighting is just something I'm never able to get done very well down here. Because it's a dark area down here. And I tend to overexpose this camera really quick. And even with the lights toned all the way down, this is as low as my lighting setup can go. This still gets overexposed a little bit by some of the LED lighting. At some point, it's a software upgrade and a computer upgrade is going to really help, because then that'll be able to provide me a lot more control over the cameras. There we are again, back to building a new computer, a new PC. And that's something that I just need to nut up and get done. Now that PC parts are a little bit better, like I don't have my dream PC parts aren't technically available just yet. Not all of them. Like the GPU is still a situation. But the 5900X that I want, the AMD 5900X, has definitely been available. That's something I really want to get into. And I just got to nut up and get that done. But then now it's like delusions of grandeur. This the other day, I'm like, I'd really like to get another motorcycle. It's been a very long time since I've owned a motorcycle, and I miss that freedom, kind of miss being able to do that. And I got to thinking, and it's like, maybe I could sell some of my comic books to pay for one. I just always find myself trying to do more than I really should at any given time. So this winter is probably get the Slavaganza giveaway done here in a week or two on the 18th. Then the 24th is the next Whatnot auction. Knock out that. have fun with that. That one's just labeled right now Party in the Dojo. It's just going to be a blast. Then maybe this winter, seriously start picking away piece by piece. There's a very large PC parts store way over in Detroit, Michigan called Micro Center. I'm fairly certain I can get probably 70 or 80% of the parts that I need from there, and I can just walk in. That's something that I really need to do. I've already got the case picked out. I've got the case. I've got the fans picked out. I've got like the LED lighting setup figured out that I want to do. Yeah, I just got to figure that out. Musings of Comic Man Andy down in the dojo, just hanging out, just talking. There's 17 people watching. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out, commenting. Sounds like a lot of people are working on projects and listening. I really appreciate that, because that's what I try to do with playlists on other channels as well, as click on it and listen and try and stay current with what's going on in the comic book community, you know? But yeah, there's a lot going on. It'll be interesting. This fall is going to be really interesting once everybody gets back into their groove of going back to school regularly, and then we start getting closer to the holidays. And once the holidays are over, we'll see what happens. That's right. The holidays aren't too far off. That is shockingly surprising. Like, literally, Thanksgiving is only... Oh, good gravy. Thanksgiving is only like, what, 10 weeks away? Not even? Yeesh. Yeah. Looking forward to it still. I mean, but then again, what's going to happen this winter? Like, if there's no big Star Wars movie release this October, or this, not October, but like December. I know Book of Boba Fett is coming out, but it's just going to be a streaming show. Hopefully they have some blockbuster movies coming out this fall. I do know, speaking of movies, I do know my wife and I were actually really surprised at how well done Paw Patrol, that movie, was. The animation was on point. It was actually very appeasing to sit and watch, even for being a children's movie and a children's, style show. And I watched probably about half of it and tinkered around on the phone. The other half, much like every other parent in that theater was doing at the time, tinkering on the phone. And I think the kids in the theater all had more fun with the reclining chairs, because you kept hearing the creaking and the groaning of the leather. And that was, I think I laughed more at that than the movie itself, but that was worth it. That was definitely worth it for the three of us to go see that movie. That was absolutely worth it. And the pictures were great. And I remember my first movie experience as a young child, going with my dad to see the original 101 Dalmatians. And I want to say I was around my son's age when we went and did that, but I can't remember. I can't even remember actually seeing the movie. I just remember being in the theater and being brought to the theater with my dad so long ago. When did that movie even release? I'll look that up some other time. But I'm not making much of a dent in this ROM series. I might have to put on a really good movie late tonight. Put on a really good movie. We're talking about that. What's there really worth watching? Like, right now, I'm at the very last episode of Breaking Bad, so I'll probably do that tonight. I'll probably watch that last episode of Breaking Bad, and then I'll watch that El Camino movie. The El Camino movie is about 2 hours long. Maybe I'll sit and I'll watch that while I work on thumbnails and work on the rest of this ROM collection, because this seems never ending. 42, 35. Here's issue 63. And it's so out of order right now. Issue 36. Issue 37. Issue 68. What do we got in here in this funny looking bag? Issue 68 again. Issue 69. Issue 69 again. So many doubles. I don't recall necessarily being like that and collecting back in the 80s and 90s and buying 2 or 3 of everything. I do recall buying, the old buy one to read and then buy one to stash, but that was for like important stuff like number ones or keys or appearances or things of that nature. To buy 2 of every book that comes out, this original collector bought 3 of everything, and most of them newsstand. Issue 70, issue 70 newsstand, issue 71 in newsstand, 3 copies. This is issue 72, 73, 74. I mean, either way, it's gonna be a good time putting together some lots of this for the Whatnot auction. Like all these ROM extras are in good reading condition. Staples are in good shape. Probably VG plus to very fine plus. These are just good reader copies, really good reader copies. And now it's looking like the more I bag and board this, the more I'm realizing I'm sitting on almost 4 sets of this. So I have to put some ROM stuff together. I don't know if it'll be well received on Whatnot. Whatnot seems to be, a million degrees or 0 degrees. The 50 Mylites and 49 double backs. Oh, you got shorted, Peter. Ooh, that's no fun, man. That sometimes happens with me too. But Whatnot seems to be a million degrees or 0 degrees. I don't know if it's the way people are sharing or marketing their auctions or what's going on. Like I'll promote mine as much as I possibly can on Instagram and YouTube and things of that nature so that people can see what's going on. And like we're talking about this ROM stuff that's going up. And some books just kind of fall flat. So it's like I gotta find the ROM collectors and see if they want to come get these for a couple bucks a piece. Otherwise, they're probably not gonna sell. But still gonna put them up. I mean, there's got to be a good home out there for these things without dropping them off at an LCS and then having them sit in the LCS's back room for several years because ROM stuff doesn't sell in the area or something like that. I know there's somebody out there. How many comics do you have, dude? Jason Parker, man. Currently 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Currently, we're up to 45 short boxes that are full, and there's 3 of these bins still. Actually, this is number 3. So there's 2.5 bins full of books from a collection I just bought, and each bin seems to be in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 comics. And then there's 15 plastic short boxes of slabs. So the last 2 or 3 years, I've kind of gone nuts. And I'm at that point now where I'm really looking to trim. Because it's one of those things where if you find a box of like 100 books and there's 2 books in there that you really want, and the seller's like, well, I'll give you the whole thing for X amount of dollars. You're like, that's a stellar deal. That's a stellar deal. So you get the 2 or 3 books that you want at a bargain because you bought all these other ones. Well, then you end up with my situation and have probably 25 short boxes worth of books that you don't want to keep, but your LCS doesn't want them because they have all of those as well. And I don't have an outlet like a flea market or anything like that. Like there's things of that nature that are around. I just don't have that time to set up at a convention or set up at a flea market or anything like that and put them out for a quarter a piece or 50 cents a piece. Just kind of, it's super convenient to go on Whatnot, start at everything for $1 and let people decide if they really want it for $1, if they want it for 10, or if they want it for 20 or something like that. Because there's newsstand collectors out there that would probably be interested in some of this stuff. And I'm sure there's some ROM collectors out there. But when there's a whole chunk of Avengers, there's a whole chunk of West Coast Avengers that I got to get into yet. And there's a ton of DC stuff that I have no idea about that's out of the late 80s, early 90s that I've never even seen those covers yet, man. Wowzers is great. I'm kind of overloaded. At least I kept it. I promised to myself that I'd keep it to just short boxes though and not long boxes so that I wouldn't have an issue moving stuff around, because I can move these short boxes around all day long and I'll be exhausted. But if I start moving around long boxes all day long, oh man. Just post a bunch, buy it now on IG. I buy a lot. So yes, my schedule doesn't quite allow for frequent Whatnot auctions. So I'm going to eventually be posting books on IG to go out to the community. You know what I mean? Yeah. Short boxes are definitely easier to carry. That is the truest statement ever. Yeah, I need to sell books on IG. I've never done it, and I don't know if the following that I have on IG would be interested in it, and I don't want to, don't want to just kind of sever people off if that's not what they want to see technically, but I can do both on there, right? I could technically do both. I think the one time I tried to sell on IG was an Eternals book, and it didn't really gain any traction. Nobody was looking for that book, and nobody was really interested in buying at that ceiling of a price when that book got that high. And eventually put that on Whatnot for $1. Definitely put that up there. Hey, never could figure it out. Thanks for following on IG, man. I will follow you guys back when I get over on the phone there. I actually just saw that pop up. but we are just over the 2-hour mark, and I'm going to try to hit some more books here. Here's ROM 42. This seems ambitious, though. This collection had a $6 price tag on ROM 42. Don't think that's a key or anything. It's just a fun cover. But $6 seems ambitious for a probably near mint minus, very fine plus copy. So this collection may have come from an old LCS or somebody else that was set up at a flea market. I got it from a coworker that wanted it out of their basement. Didn't realize I wasn't already following. There are a ton of people out there in the YouTube community that I still haven't found on IG yet. It happens. Like, I know there's YouTube channels out there that have 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people following on IG. And I just need to start going on there and filtering through their followers to find everybody else generally. That's what I probably should do. Like Two Brothers Comics has got a really big following on IG. So does Reggie and Bueller and Comic Tom and a lot of other people. Very Gary. Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. Calvin, what's up? Yo, Kels, good to see you, man. We're on the tail end of it's currently a 2-hour hangout right now. We'll push it a little bit longer, but like I said, I got to get leaving for a family dinner here soon and just trying to get through some of these books. We had John's Comics with Kids hanging out earlier. We had, who else was here? Luke's Comics was here hanging out. Excuse me. And I laughed. I haven't laughed that hard in quite a while at all those dad jokes. Yeah, who else did we have on? John's Comics with Kids popped in. It escapes me at a moment. Luke's Comics was here, but since I have a terrible memory, this was just an hour and a half ago that those people popped in pretty much. I got covers on the brain. Covers on the brain. ROM is on the brain. 35 newsstand edition. This is a super cool cover. Also an ambitious price tag of $6. And this looks to be in really good shape. I mean, put this together with 36, 37. 36, 37. What was the last one? Nope. So this actually is what I'm talking about here. Issues 35, 36, and 37 all look to be in fairly decent shape, and they're all newsstand, and they're all really cool covers. Why not put that together as a lot on what not to start for $1? I'm sure somebody would pick that up, and they're all newsstands. And if I get these under a light, and if these all are in decent shape, $6, $6 a book seems ambitious. That seems like LCS pricing. You know what I mean? So maybe I put all three of those up and start the whole lot for $5. Peter Parker's Pants. Happy Labor Day weekend to you as well. Yeah, this weekend's gonna be full of projects, full of work. Those fumes from the polyethylene bags have gone to your brain. Yeah, you're kidding. You're not kidding me. These things need to be recycled bad. I like saving the boards because the boards are not great to be used again on comic books, but they're great to offer support when you stack comic books together. And when you go to ship comic books out, you get a stack of like 3 or 4 books together. I like stacking boards on the outside, on the top, and then on the bottom, and then doing cardboard, and then painter's taping them together. Offers a little bit more support, and hopefully those sacrificial boards on the outside, on the top, of the bottom really take any damage, if any happens at all. And I don't know, it seems like the shipping method I've been using for anything really that I use on Whatnot has actually gone over pretty well. I feel like people have been happy with the way I've been shipping those books. The trick is I've got to find a way to do it a little bit more efficiently without sacrificing quality. And quality is the name of the game when shipping books, because we all know we want to ship books the way we want to receive them too. But yeah, super cool purple cover. And that looks like another Sienkiewicz cover as well. Nope. Bushima? It's hard to tell. I can't read the names in this lighting, but super cool cover. I might even just sit down and read this whole ROM Space Knight run now that I've got like four full, almost completed sets. But yeah, that's a super cool cover. I can't quite read the names right there, but look, there's just a handful of spine ticks on there, and the rest of the corners are solid newsstand copies. So put that in probably like a very fine condition. Not bad. Not bad for a 60 center that's what? How many years old now? This is 1982. 1982 Marvel group. So you're talking 30 years, almost 30 years. Almost a 30-year-old comic book. Wait, no. Goo. You're talking an almost 40-year-old comic book now. Still in really good shape for a book that old. Yeah, these books are a little... This old packaging is a little dusty, I can tell, because my nose starts to itch the more I bag and board. I think I got a little bit of a dust allergy or allergen issue. I think that's happened pretty much every Sunday bagging and boarding hangout I've done. I get about an hour or two in, and then my nose starts to itch really bad. It's got to be something about dust. Yeah, 82 to 2021, 2022. Yeah. 38, 39-year-old book. Goo. Isn't that hard to believe? Kind of a big pill to swallow there to think that some of these books out of the 80s are that old now. I don't know about the rest of you guys. They just don't seem that old yet. You know what I mean? They just don't feel like old books, but they are. Like when you look back at 70s and 60s now. You believe that? Book in the 60s is like that old? You can do the math. 40 years, 1960 to 2000, it's 40 years. 2000 to 2020, that's 20 more years. That's a 60-year-old book. Yeah, it's still going, Andy. What's still going? Okay, this is super cool. Rom of Knights and Space Knights. Issue number 37. That's a pretty dope cover. Really good shape, newsstand. Issue 37. Not really seeing any spine ticks either. That's kind of surprising for a book of that old. Yeah, still going, Andy. M3 Lions. Yep, I am here, and I am... Oh, you mean I'm still going? Yeah, for a little bit longer. Want to get some more bagging and boarding done in here. And then, yeah, like, we haven't really talked about it yet, but Mail Call Monday's tomorrow. I'm excited for Mail Call Monday because, they reprinted UF4, right? And that cover A has been reprinted out, and it seemed like a lot of those were ordered and a lot of those available, but that means they also reprinted some other stuff. And definitely, I placed an order. The Djurvek variant got reprinted as a Virgin variant, and I bought a bunch of those. So I'm excited to go open those up tomorrow, and we'll see how that packaging is, and hopefully those books survived, Because definitely want to send those up to CGC because the Djurvek variant in the Virgin form in a slab is going to look super cool. So I'm kind of excited to open those up, see what those are like, and maybe I've already committed to the next CGC batch being all Something is Killing the Children books. I've already committed to that. So maybe the second batch needs to be like some Punisher stuff for the personal collection, and then maybe some speculation stuff like UF4 reprints. And, oh man. Yeah, and some other speculation books. We'll see, because there's a whole slew of stuff to go through here. Yeah, I know there's some Spider-Man books that, Spider-Verse books that I can definitely get sent out and get graded that I should be, that I've been putting off. The ultimate goal is to basically have a box of books or a stack of books, 10 or so books going out to get cleaned and pressed every month. So if a package is going out every month and getting cleaned and pressed every month, then in theory, based on when they hit CGC, for the next year and a half, there should be a CGC unboxing about every month or about every other month here for Mail Call Monday. That would be a ton of fun because we put off grading books for a year because we weren't sure how things were going to go with their turn times, and they didn't get better. But just recently, it seems like the light is at the end of the tunnel. Seems like their turn times are improving, or something is improving with what they've been doing with the buyout and hiring people. So if that's really the case, and those last two submissions weren't a fluke, we're definitely going to see how this trend goes on the channel. Because if there's books going out every month for the next 6 to 12 months, we're definitely going to look for trends. We're going to see where those trends are getting bucked and where they hold true and what's going to happen. And you never know. You never know. I'm still seriously considering. Jason Parker Comics did one not too long ago, and Skeph's been doing them too. The 25 book pre-screen. I'm still kind of curious about doing that. Because I have purchased some chunks of books that I think would be fun to do that on a video. You never know, though. It's really kind of hard to say. I wonder if that's why my CGC grading has actually gone well, is that I've been I've been sending in smaller groups of books, smaller packages. They don't really just get piled up into the big stack of books. Yeah, Jason says try it. I really need to. There's the 8th print of Something Is Killing the Children, that one that was super heavily printed, like 75,000 copies, something like that. Jason, have a good day, man. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Have a good evening, actually, and don't work too hard tomorrow. But that Something Is Killing the Children 8th print, heavily printed. I heard something in the rumor of 75,000 copies. Well, I don't know what the price is currently at, but I was able to find a stack of those for 20% under cover price. So I bought 25 copies thinking that would be a really cool experiment to do for a CGC pre-screening. Not that I don't know that they would all come back 9.8, but just to do one as an experiment and see what their pre-screening process is like. Maybe I could find a couple other copies that are definitely good 9.8 candidates and see if we can do a full 25 9.8s. That's the scary thing, though, is that if they all hit 9.8s, the cost of that package that's going to be way up there. But I should be able to budget for it just fine and plan just fine. So ROM issue 69. Really good shape. It is 447 here on the East Coast. Let's do these last two copies here. This is ROM 69. There's 3 copies of it. Good Lord. Let's do these last 3 copies of ROM 69 and then call it a day. Thank everybody for hanging out. Mail Call Monday tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Mail Call Monday. Don't forget, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, because 8 p.m. we're going to do the Jibber Jabber with Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine, over on his channel. Hang out with him for a while. And then we'll do Mail Call Monday at 9. And then Tuesday, Comic News Weekly on the Sibelman's Comics channel. That's going to be a blast. I'm sure there's some great news this weekend that we're going to talk about. And then Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. There will be something up. There will be something for that. But yes. Yep. 2 more. Let's knock out 2 more and call it a day. Not too bad. I didn't get not quite half of a short box. Mix up the CGC stuff. I got to send my signed stuff to CBCS, but waiting for Black Friday offers and get my signed Star Wars Republic done. Ooh. Black Friday deals. Are they going to do Black Friday deals? That'd be dope. I don't think I've recalled seeing CGC do any Black Friday deals. That'd be slick if they did, though. Almost 10 p.m. your time. Have a great evening, man. Don't work too hard again tomorrow like we were talking about. So 8. Let's see what's the date on this. So issue 69. Looks like they're dating this in 1985. So yeah, that first chunk of ROM was late 81, early 82. So it looks like by the time you get into issue 69, 70, it's like 85. Man, long time ago. That's nothing, though. There's somebody sitting there rebagging and reboarding a Golden Age collection. And they're rebagging books that are almost 80 years old. Some of them probably even 100 years old. In the 1920s? That was the Golden Age. I think some of the earliest comic books were in the late teens, early 20s, maybe. New Year CBCS was 20 or 25% off. Really? Interesting. That's probably a good opportunity for me to do my first CBCS grading then. Yeah, Golden Age was in the 40s and 50s, so we're talking 80-year-old books, right? Atomic Age was probably the late 30s, early 40s, and then when you started getting into some of those wartime books was the end of the Atomic Age and leading into the Golden Age, maybe. I don't know. I'm very, very, very unlearned when it comes to like Golden Age and Silver Age stuff. Most of what I've paid attention to and collect over the years starts at the earliest in the 70s, the late 70s, and then into the early 80s. That's really, really where my knowledge resides at the start of. And then I was buying books fairly heavily in the 90s as a kid. And my love still falls within that modern range. My love of comic books still falls in that modern range. More modern so than what they call the actual modern age, because that modern age is approaching way too many years to still be the modern age. But yeah, like Something's Killing the Children, modern indie reads. That's kind of my bread. That's really where I like to read books and collect. And I like kind of not necessarily hunting down, but guessing on what the next big blue chip modern key is going to be. It's everybody talking about Something Is Killing the Children being the next Walking Dead. That excites me because that was a series that I picked out of previews and said, I want to read this. I want to see where this goes. And the more we talked about it in the community, the more excited I got, to the point where I started buying more of the first run books, those issues 1 through 10. So yeah, that next CGC package is going to be Something Is Killing the Children. That and getting back into trying to get into that Walking Dead #1 at some point. I put that on the hunt list for 2021. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that price is going to make that book any more attainable for us. It's just crazy. There would have to be a ton of work. I'd have to stop doing YouTube stuff that I have fun with for probably 2 or 3 months and just focus on moving books out of the dojo down here and letting them go and giving the community good deals to get those funds together for that Walking Dead. And I just don't think it's there. I think there's just so many other things that we want to do as a family too. So yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the Walking Dead might fall into the 2022 category potentially, depending on what news happens there. But that's wrapping it up. Those are the last 2 copies of issue 61 for ROM, and I'm just going to put the rest of these back. There's so many ROM books in here. But that's the Sunday hangout. Just bagging, boarding, seeing who's going to hang out, seeing who's going to pop on live. Really appreciate all of you. Like I said, like we've said in the past, this connective tissue that's comic books is fantastic, but the most important thing all the time, every time, are all of you guys. Willing to sit, willing to hang out, willing to chit chat, bounce back and forth between channels and supporting each other and helping to build this community. That's the most amazing part, right? Absolutely. So once again, thank you everybody for hanging out. Tune in tomorrow for Mail Call Monday. Tune in Tuesday for Comic News Weekly on the Simpleman's Comics channel. And don't forget to tune in Wednesday for New Comic Book Day. It's been a blast. It's been fun. We got about half of a short box done, right? About half a box. Maybe I'll get the rest done tonight. But everybody have a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Have a great holiday weekend. So remember, though, you all know how I'm going to end this, right? I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side for the next video. Remember, most important part, all day, every day. Stay original and take care of each other. Peace out, everybody.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.